I just wanna live and dream, but nothing is as what it seems. And baby, it's making me crazy. I just wanna fight and scream. There's nothing left for me to say. Fear shot to defeat the day. I know that I can control it, so it doesn't have to be this way.
I'm really sick of living, stuck and trapped in the system. You're just a brick in the wall, and I got my back up against it. I represent the resistance, they want me back up in prison. But I'm the master of my path, and I won't slack on my mission. You're lacking the vision, so I'm just gonna cut to the chase. They hide the truth in plain view, right in front of your face. I used to think the world was normal, but that wasn't the case. We're just some goyim on a hamster wheel, running in place. Turn up the bass, I grab the microphone and all I do is rock it. This little light of mine, I let it shine and you can't stop it. But there's nothing these corporations just won't do for profit. This fake ass world that we live in is sick, it's truly toxic. If you don't see it that way, okay then keep talking. Don't bump into that wall while you're sleepwalking. The alarm is going off, I hear it beep often. I'm at the double doors of truth, I'm gonna keep knocking.
I just want to live and dream, but nothing is as what it seems. And baby, it's making me crazy. I just want to fight and scream. There's nothing left for me to say. Fear shot to defeat the day. I know that I can control it, so it doesn't have to be this way.
I refuse to just go quietly into the night. There's forces of darkness at work and they're restricting the light. I'm so fed up with the lies they tell us this isn't right. It's ODD TV, you best believe I'll get up and fight. This is my plight, I'll never let you cowards get the best of me. Took the red pill, now it's time to fulfill my destiny. Living like I'm Neo, dipping from my P.O. Dripping on me cause I am the one and he's a zero. Hot like a jalapeno, bringing heat that you just can't avoid. I call out bullshit and lies, they call me paranoid. People are just foolish, full of hate, they get angry. Point out the truth about reality, they label you crazy. Just a glitch in the system, you're a critical thinker. And no, they don't want that, fuck them, give them the finger. I do it every single day, with each and everything I say. I'm not living like a victim, it doesn't have to be this way.
I just wanna live and dream, but nothing is as what it seems. And baby, it's making me crazy. I just wanna fight and scream. There's nothing left for me to say. Fear shot to defeat the day. I know that I can control it, so it doesn't have to be this way. It doesn't have to be this way. Doesn't have to be this way.
All right, what is going on, everyone? Steve JMO. It is the 24th of November, 2019, and I have Brian Staveley live with us tonight, and we are going to have an all-around chat about pretty much everything, so let's not waste any time. Brian, what's going on, bro?
Not much, man. Just chilling.
Heard that.
Nice to have to run the show once and just be on the other side.
Yeah, right. No pressure on you today. It's all on me. So for people that don't know, I've been around for a little while. I just started doing live streams probably less than 4 months ago. So this is all a little new to me. So this is big for me. This is going to be a sick night. It's going to be a fucking awesome show. And for people on my channel, let's find out who Brian Staveley is, where he's from, how he got to where he is now, the life before being awake, and all that stuff. So, Brian, what's up?
Not much, brother. Do you want to turn the cameras on or what?
I get a little distracted by looking at myself, but you can, by as all means, turn yours
No, all
on.
right.
So.
No, I'm not gonna. We'll leave it off. It's cool.
All
It's
right.
cool.
Yeah, yeah. I'm like a fucking goldfish. I look over here, that I'm nothing. It's
You get,
ridiculous.
yeah, you get used to it though.
Hell
Oh, I
yeah.
don't know. I don't know where you want to start. I mean, I've been doing this like 10 years. You know what I mean? Like just YouTube though. Only like not even quite a year and a half yet. It's coming close to that. But I was always doing it off my radio station through my website, which I actually tested this morning because people are talking about YouTube going down, and I get sent it a lot. So just to have a backup plan, my website is now functional to stream radio shows if need be and have a live chat there. So, but that's what I started doing. I started looking at 9/11, and then it didn't take me longer than a couple months, and I realized I needed to have my voice out there. And there really wasn't like it's not like there were a bunch of shows like this Mandela and Flat Earth shows and all this. Now there was like very few people doing radio broadcasts about that type of thing. So I set up my own station through my website and set up everything on my end. Did it for virtually free as I could, and I did that for like till 20 late 2014, and then I just got sick of the same bullshit you see in the flat earth community now, but it was even worse in the 9/11 community then. So I just kind of and I was always just getting attacked by people. It was just got too big too much. So I took away 3 years. It took off, but I didn't take it off totally. I kind of switched it up and I went to Facebook, and that's a whole different game. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Because there's some people that'll, the Facebook people say, "Oh, YouTube, blah blah blah." The YouTube people say you can't do nothing. Hold on a second.
No, yeah, I completely know what you're saying there. Facebook, I stopped like posting a lot on Facebook not too long ago, but I just started getting back into posting on Facebook just because of all the fucking haters. Everyone just wants to shit on everything, and I'm just like, if you don't want to view this stuff, don't view it.
Yeah. Well, the thing is I like it's a different game. So with like YouTube, you can come out, put your whole video out, hope people watch it or whatever. Facebook, it's like more you got to get in a little bit more of a quick, witty conversations with people. But it's like, it's just there's so much low level fucking trolling that goes on in YouTube, but there's so much low level trolling too. But it's more so the comments after your videos or people in chat that you can just block. And I get so frustrated with like the Facebook groups and shit. But it's good if you want to like plant seeds, dude. Like Facebook's cool because you can like make memes and shit if you're creative about it, and you can plant seeds and try and spark conversations. And I did meet a lot of good people from that. I wouldn't have known Paul, the Black Sheep researcher, and a lot of other people if I wasn't on Facebook first. So it's good for that. But then in like I'd say like late 2017, I got the urge to fucking, get my voice back out there. So I started uploading. I've always had my YouTube channel since like 2009, just saving videos. So, you know what I mean? I never did anything on it, like a lot of people, right? So I had a YouTube account. So I started putting my 9/11 shows up in order and just to get them out in circulation. And it lasted for a little while until they started hitting me with strikes, and then they just started getting worse and worse with it. But then I started to get more into Mandela effect more and more. And then I was like, man, I should be out here putting videos out. I can put videos out like these guys, man. I should be out here talking. And I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna start making videos. I did a few shows with a couple other people in the community. Like I was on Brian McFarland's show for like 3 or 4 or 5 weeks in a row.
Oh,
And
nice.
then I was just like, fuck it, and I just started doing my own videos, and that's where I'm at now. And I'm doing videos pretty much every day. But we have a really good community over there. We don't deal with the fucking bullshit. We don't deal with the people that fucking, call everybody a shill, or the people that just fucking just come
Oh,
and have anger and shit. There's a lot of chats that breed that. You know what I mean? They breed that negativity. And all the people that watch those channels, they act like that, It's no surprise, right?
no, you're 100% right. The people who like backlash and have all that anger built up, I don't quite understand that. So the other day I was at work and we have this one server. She's a ditz or whatever, and I don't even know how the conversation started, but we talked about fluoride. She's like, "Oh yeah." She was like, "Oh, I love to go to the dentist, this, that, and the other thing." I was like, "Oh, so you must love your dose of fluoride." She goes, "Oh, why wouldn't I?" I'm like, "Well, you ever looked into what's in the fluoride?" She goes, "No, it's in the drinking water, so it must be safe." And I was like, "No, you should really look into what the side effects are of fluoride, this, that, and the other thing." And she just had that like update face, you know what I'm saying? Then it just went to straight like, you don't know what you're talking about. They wouldn't hurt me, blah 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 blah. I'm like, bro, like you gotta relax on that. And everyone's not even just fluoride. You tell someone the Earth is flat, it's all over. They're in your face,
Oh,
put you in a
super triggering.
headlock.
It's the most triggering thing you can say to somebody, pretty much. I mean, and
Oh,
it's like why? Like why? If it's so stupid, why are you so mad, bro?
dude, that's what I'm saying. One time, the kid who got me into flat Earth, we actually received death threats via Facebook. We had people put pictures of their guns up saying they're coming to get us because we think the Earth is flat. I was like, "Are you guys fucking serious?" Like, yeah, dude, this shit gets real. So that's another reason why I stepped away from everything for a little bit in like 2016, 2017, because I was firing out flat earth videos left and right as much as I could back in like 2015,
Yeah.
early 2016, and
Yeah.
they were all doing good too. I had a couple of them that had like 20, 30, 40,000 hits, and I was on a couple shows with Mark Sargent and shit, and I just got
Yeah.
tired of all the bull crap. Everyone, pointing fingers, F you, F this. I'm like, you know what? I'm just walking away. It's not like I walked away from the truth community. Don't get me wrong. Like I'm still, right when I stopped pretty much making videos, RFB blew up. So I started watching him, sharing his stuff. We have, we talk back and forth in emails here and there, but he's a busy ass motherfucker. So I try not to bother him and shit.
Yeah, he had me on a couple times.
No, yeah, I saw that. That was a good show you guys did one on one. The round table was pretty good too. I wish that went a little longer, but
Yeah, man, you can't have a 5-6 person round table in a 2-hour show. It's just too short, man.
no, that's like a all night deal. You get 6 coffees and you go at it,
Yeah, fucking and you think about the people that were there. I mean, you're trying to do a 2-hour show. You got Richie there, me, Photo Helix, Jesus Freak. It's like, how much are we gonna get to talk each?
No, right. You and what photo? You guys do what, 9.5, 10.5 the other night, a couple weeks ago? That was
10
ridiculous.
Over 10. We did over 10 hours. Yeah, like 10 hours, 15 minutes or something like that.
That's ridiculous. I love it. I didn't watch the full thing of that. I probably got 5 hours in just like through 3 days of listening. I was like, oh shit, I gotta put something new on. No offense.
No, I hear you. It's a long show,
No,
But yeah,
I love
Go ahead.
photo. Like you said, the dude's like the grandpa of the fucking Mandela effect community. That guy's a hoot.
Yeah, I like listening to all those guys.
No, without a doubt. Freaking you listen to Nicholson 1968 at all?
I've listened to a couple of his things, not much though. I mean, he doesn't put out that much new stuff at all. Once in a while he puts out something.
No, yeah, you're right there. He's kind of in the shadows, but he's a really good informative guy. My channel is not big enough for me to like.
The last video he put out was that transhumanism one, right?
Yeah, and I personally think he's got something there because you got all these Bible verses, and so let's look at it this way: if the Bible says God's gonna end the world again, but he's gonna do it with fire. Well, fire melts metal, and if everyone's a transhuman, there you go. Case closed, problem solved. We win. And a lot of people don't see that stuff, and that bothers me. Like, you got movies like the Terminator series and all this other stuff. It's ridiculous, and it's all in our face. The whole predictive programming. It goes a lot deeper than anyone even ever thought it would have. Like you have videos or movies in like the 70s and the 80s, and those movies are reality now. So that has me like rewatching a lot of movies that are current day and being like, shit, if that stuff happened now, this stuff could possibly happen here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and
definitely.
Yeah, and you got people that just won't even look at it, and Christian people that won't even look at it. I'm like Nicholson 1968. he knows the Bible inside out, and you guys aren't even going to entertain the thought of this. Like, it
He
gets
was
me.
actually supposed to be on that show that I did with Richie, but he couldn't make it last minute, so I didn't end up getting to talk to him. I never talked to him, but he was supposed to be on that show, that Mandela show, not the Round Table.
Oh yeah, that
Yeah,
would have been at least a 2,
it was
3,
going to be.
4 hour program with him on there.
Oh yeah, yeah,
He could
yeah.
he could chat. You and him, you guys should have a good link up because you bring a lot of stuff to the table from every category, and he's mainly involved over here. And if you
Yeah.
guys collide, like you said before, you can't be a one topic person. If everyone puts their pieces of their puzzle all on the board, the fucking puzzle could be done.
Yeah, or at least head in that direction. You ain't going nowhere if you ain't willing to put all the pieces on the board. You're just gonna sit there scratching your fucking head all day, dude.
Right. Or you're just gonna have that one piece and hold on to it and think that's the puzzle. And in reality, we all know that it takes at least, 100 pieces to make a goddamn puzzle. And if you got one piece, what are you gonna do? You're just gonna just jerk off with that in the corner? Get out of here. It's ridiculous. People shouting flat earth this, like I'm a flat earther, don't get me wrong. But that whole community kind of turned me sour towards like the flat earth group,
Mm-hmm.
Like you don't see me too often in like a flat earth group on Facebook. Like I'll post in like the Revolution and Flatline and one or two others, but you have the ones that have like 30, 40, 50,000 people in the group, and a good 25,000 of them are trolls.
Yeah, dude, I don't deal with that shit at all anymore. And it's not even the ones that are just there to troll flat Earth. It's the ones that are they know NASA's fake and outer space is a lie, and the Earth isn't a ball. And then they think they know everything, and they beat their fucking chest, and then they'll ridicule me for talking about other things like fucking Mandela effect or solar simulator or any of these other topics, And they're really years behind, and it's like, fuck you, dude. So I've left most of those groups. It's a fucking joke. I just kind of post my fucking watch parties in them. Really, I don't even go in Mandela groups to look for residue. Nothing. I don't even look in there. I don't look in none of them anymore. I just
don't even
go off what I
bother.
see. No, I just go off what I see now, and people tell me I'm connected to enough people. I hear about all of them, and I'm not interested in having to be the first guy to go out there and put a new Mandela effect video out. I never go out and do the new effects, really, unless it's a big one that affects me. I just like to talk about like what we're going through here and like where's it taking us. Like, and there are people that need to put out those videos, and there's a lot of good people that put them out. But that's never been my style. So I have I do have almost 30 videos that are like that, but those are like my top 30 Mandela effects. So they're the ones that are so huge to me. I decided to make a short video on it and bang out the residue and try and make it resonate with people. You know what I mean? But I'm not out there every week doing new effects because I just like to. I will talk about them if there's a few good new ones this week. I'll definitely bring them up. But I like more just talking about all these topics, how they tie together, like where's this taking us, the stuff we're going through. I like interviewing people, getting their perspective on it.
Oh, without a doubt. It's all a conscious connection. All of these quote unquote conspiracies, it all comes back to the agenda, the blatant agenda, the anti-God, anti-soul, anti-human agenda. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and Steve, it's just it's a gradual progression. Just like, okay, you can relate it like this. Like, I don't look at the NASA faker anymore. I get it. It's like it's so boring. I'm not going to sit there and waste an hour tearing apart NASA footage and SpaceX to put it up and laugh at it. Maybe once in a great while you hear a ridiculous story and I'll address it. Same thing with the Mandela effect residue. I don't need to search for residue. I already know the residue is just to convince the other people at this point. So I'll put the residue in my short videos. But if I see a Mandela effect, I'll just come on the air and talk about it. I don't even need the residue to talk to fucking my people about it. Like, I already know. I'm way past the point of doubting myself. I know what I know, bro.
No, you're 100% right. And the thing is, like, if you're gonna, shit, what the fuck was I about to say? Fucking. So like obviously, like we're not gonna come on here and just point out NASA fakery from 1972, and people are all over that stuff, still tearing down the moon mission, which is great. It's good,
Yeah,
but
everybody has their spot. We're progressing. The newer people in these movements, they can do that stuff. They can go in those flat Earth groups and debate the globies. That's not our job anymore.
No. I took that job like when I first started this whole channel. Like I was calling out Globies left and right, battling with them in the comments. Putting them down. F you this, F you that, and like I said, after a while it just turns you sour. So I had to walk away from all that. Much love for everyone in the flat Earth community. Like Bob from Glowbusters, Jaren, all of them. They're the best. They're the best. But you got assholes like Dubay and what's that other guy?
Fuck
Powerland,
you, man.
Madeline, whatever the hell his name is. That
Fuck
guy's
Eric Dubé.
a joke. I don't understand it.
Eric Dubé is a bitch.
Oh my god! If I could just like hit one person as hard as I could with the back of my hand, it'd probably be him.
I won't even get into who. Everybody already knows who I'd like to smack. That's fine.
That's okay. But what was I gonna ask you? Fucking, you were on a show with Patricia Steer a while ago. What even happened to her? Did they just take her down? Did she take herself down? I don't really, because I kind of enjoyed listening to her stuff.
She took herself down from all the harassment she was getting.
Really?
It was way over the top, and I don't know all the details, but I heard cops got sent to her house too, like to harass her. Like somebody made some sort of like distress call, like go check on her type thing.
Jeez.
I don't really know all the details, so I can't elaborate on that more. But I know she was, everybody calling her a tranny and all the stuff, and we know who the people are that are doing that. So those people obviously aren't out for truth. I mean, you just mentioned one of them.
Yeah, it's funny. He had everyone at the beginning too. He puts out 200 proof, and that dude thought he was. Let's not even go down that road because that's gonna get me all fired up. And then we're gonna get flagged, banned, and all that other great stuff. And speaking of the censorship on YouTube, they be messing with me on your channel, bro. Because I'm belled to all your channels, and I'll sign in my YouTube account, and it'll be like 4 new videos from Brian Staveley. I'm like, well, why the fuck didn't I hear about this stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, they unbell, they unsub me from Richie's page twice, which isn't surprising. The guy has 400,000 subs and gets 30,000 views on a video. That's ridiculous. But you said you got your website going, so when YouTube pulls the plug on us, so what you're saying you can live stream from there?
Yeah, but not video. It'll be the audio and chat, but not video. So, but at least until we figure out a live streaming option, and I know we got all these other sites we talk about, and I have accounts on DLive and BitChute and all that, and it's linked in every show description. But what was I going to say? Yeah, so my website, therealnewsonline.com, same as my backup channel, The Real News Online.
Yep.
If you go there and just go to the Dose of Reality page, when I'm live streaming, all you have to do is hit the media player or click one of the links to open it in another tab, and it'll play. And the chat is right actually below that. You just scroll down a little. So that'll be our backup plan. And I tested it early this morning, like 3 or 4 in the morning. I tested it, and it worked. I know some people left comment they couldn't hear or something. That's because I was already done by the time you got there. I closed the stream.
All right, well that's good. I like that we have backup plans in store because I just heard about. I'm not really into keeping up with all this stuff, and someone messaged me the other day. They're like, "Oh, what are you gonna do on December 10th?" I'm like, "I don't know. Wake up and go to work. What do you mean? And what am I gonna do?" And they laid out all this Copa BS, and I was like, "Jesus Christ!" Of course, right when I start live streaming, these motherfuckers are gonna shut us down. Ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm not too worried about that though. I mean, I've heard it so many times, and I do get censored like a lot, but it's like, are they really going to pull it out on all of us like that? I don't know. If it happens, I guess it happens. Just have a backup plan ready. You can't just worry about it every fucking day, but get a backup plan ready. Don't put it off.
No, without a doubt. That's why I figured, I'd run that by you, seeing as you're bigger than me. You got the website and whatnot, so that'd be good to get you on there at least. So, but let's just dip into bring people up to speed on who I am, because there's a lot of names in the chat that I've never seen in my life, and I assume you brought them all over, and they're probably like, who the hell is this guy interviewing Brian Staveley right now, or having a chat, whatever you want to label this as. I'm not here asking you questions. You're not asking me questions. We're just going at it on what it is. But so let me just bring everyone up to speed real quick on like my little journey. This is not going to be too long, but I'm from Springfield, Mass. I'm 24 years old. As a kid, I've always had like skeptic views on everything. I've kind of always been, not aware of the BS, but always just had an eyebrow raised to everything. You could say I went to a Catholic school K through 8, and that was kind of ridiculous because one class we would be taught like religion and creation theory, and God created Adam, Eve, all that other stuff, and then 25 minutes later we walk down the hall to the science class and it's the complete opposite. So that always messed with me in a way, pretty much giving us the choice. It's like, hey, you gotta choose this or you gotta choose that. And that never really sat well with me. I never really understood why we couldn't just, if this is a truly Catholic religious school, why don't we just cut out science and the whole creation theory and, go over the good points of science, like, like weather and all that other stuff that, actually matters. But that was just always thought that was ridiculous. But so then I went to a public high school just in Wilbraham, not too far from Springfield.
Yeah.
Initially, I had issues fitting in, I guess you could say, because Springfield's rep, gangsters, all that stuff, drugs, and I just got labeled with that real quick. So even with like the principal staff, if something happened, it was always my fault, or they went to me first. It was just always ridiculous. But like I said, I had issues fitting in, so I kind of tried to be cool. I got kicked out of school probably 25 days into my freshman year, which was awesome, which was great. My mom's stoked to hear that. And and they I got caught drinking at school, and I had my grandfather's pocket knife in my backpack for I don't know what reason. He died a couple months prior. We were cleaning out his house, and I just assumed, it must have got tucked in with all the bull stuff. It was some World War II knife. Couldn't even open. It was rusted shut. So they got me on possession of alcohol age, got me with possession of a weapon in a school. I got arrested. That was phenomenal. That was the fucking worst day of my life, pretty much. um, After that, like I said, they kicked me out. So we had to have the expulsion hearing and all that other stuff. But while that was going on, that was about a 4-month process, and they finally they let me back in after because we were superintendent. My mom knew a couple people who were high on the board, but like city councilmen, crap like that. So they made their phone calls. They did what they had to do. For those 4 months, I was being homeschooled by my great aunt who didn't even teach any science to me. We just did straight just English, history, and math. And she was she's still alive. She's about 79, 80 years old now, but she's very, very Christian. There's not a bad bone in her body. So I would always be at the church with her. We would always be, because I had community service I had to do. I had like 250 hours of community service, and they gave me 6 months to do it. So we just went and cleaned the church every day. It was, it was a good experience, I guess. It was kind of relaxing in a way. But like I said, they let me back into school in January, and that was just a ridiculous experience my whole high school career. About what I say, probably about junior year, I met this cat named Dylan, and he's still my boy to this day. And we just vibed. One day we hung out, and we just kid just throwing conspiracies at me. I'm like, where the fuck you get this stuff from?
Yeah.
And apparently his dad has a YouTube channel called JT Reverse Brainwash. He doesn't post anymore, but he had so many videos back in the day. This is when YouTube was just like the war room. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When you could post anything, no flags, no none of this. But half of his videos have just been deleted. So you know what happens when that happens. But
Oh yeah.
so
I'm very used to that, bro.
yeah, so by this time we're like seniors. I'm a senior. He's a junior. He's 1 year behind me, and we're sitting in science class or some crap, and he just starts typing in 9/11 inside job. I'm like, where the hell did you hear that from? And he's like, "Oh shit, my dad was talking about it last night on YouTube." And his dad wasn't really telling him what everything was. As we were in high school, he didn't want us to start talking in there and get us in trouble there. But we overheard little things here and there, and that kind of started it a little bit because I looked at, I was like, "Oh shit, this is kind of crazy, bro." And me being 18, 17, whatever I was, there was other stuff for me to do besides, look into conspiracies, the girls, drinking, drugs, partying, all that other stuff, that we all fall to. But yeah, well, actually, I I stopped drinking not too long ago, but I used to have a real issue with drinking. I actually overdosed and I had to get resuscitated twice in one
Damn,
night from.
need to fucking
Yeah,
slow
bro.
down on that shit because the alcohol really kill you, bro.
No, absolutely. That I was 17 at the time. I haven't had a drink in about 2.5 years, so I'm straight on shit. I just smoke a shit ton of weed now.
Yeah,
So
me
that
too. I
kind
do
of.
the same thing, bro. I won't do my show without smoking weed. It helps me think, bro. I'll have a brain fart all day long, and I'm like, then I'll go smoke a blunt, and then I'll be like, boom, I'm fucking ready to go. You know what I mean? But the drinking just makes me tired and fucking makes me fucking bloated. I'm already fat enough now. I got like a dad bod now.
Ah, Jesus Christ.
I can still shake my hips better than anybody in the community, though. You know what I mean?
Oh, hey, you do what you got to do. I have one milkshake and I'm paying for it for a week now, so I know exactly what you're saying. Oh shit. But so yeah, while I'm friends with this kid, I was in a relationship with this other chick, and she was just so mainstream, bro. Like every time I talk about like anything we talked about, like we were dipping into chemtrails a little bit, but like I said, being 18, 17, 19, however old I was, it's really hard to like understand like what exactly I'm being told. So I never really acted on it. And I always sat wrong with me in my head. I was like, why is this chick so against everything that we're like talking about? So eventually we broke up, and it was just so weird because like a couple weeks after we broke up, that is when like the wake up process really started to kick in for me. Cause one day, this asshole Dylan, we're just chilling in my room, me, him, and this other kid we used to be friends with. He just starts smiling, bro, and he just looks over at me. He's like, "Guess what?" I'm like, "What do you got to say now?" He goes, "The Earth is flat, kid." This is like 2013.
Nice.
I didn't say nothing of it. It hit me in the head. I was just like, huh. This other kid got so pissed off, bro. He literally punched him in the face. Like this is.
I'm not surprised, bro, and that shows you how bad the indoctrination is. Like, if it's so stupid, like, why are you gonna go assault somebody? Why are you so mad, man? If it's just dumb, why are you so mad? That just shows you how deep the indoctrination goes. It's the most fucking indoctrinated topic to fight against.
Dude, right. And I'm just sitting here in my chair. I'm like, what did I just hear? And now I got to break up a fight. I was like, holy shit. So we got him out of here real quick. And then I looked at him. I was like, yo, elaborate on what the hell you just said to get yourself punched in the fucking face. You know what I'm saying? Because we looked at, not us, but History Channel back in the day used to have like, we never went to the moon, or there's alien bases on the moon, stuff like that. And I watched one of those back in the day. And when he said that, my mind went straight to that. And then he started breaking it down a little bit, showing me some flat earth videos that you just can't find anymore on YouTube, which is ridiculous. And he just blew me out of the water. And I didn't even have any backlash. I was just like, wow, man, this makes sense. Like anyone, like it was just unreal to me. Because I went outside. I'm like, is it really that simple? So I went. We have this little place in Hamden. It's called Goat Rock. It's like, I don't know, probably like 500-600 feet in the air. And from just being 500, 600 feet up from Springfield, Mass, I could see Hartford, Connecticut. That's like 40 miles away, bro. And I was like, yeah, that's it for me. I was like, I'm in. I'm all in. Chips are in. And about a year and a half after that, because Mark came out with the clues and Dubé with the 200 proofs, I was like, you know what? I can do this. So I went on, and that's where we are now, you know?
Yeah.
I'm starting to get a little feedback from my own mic. Should I just unplug it real quick or
From your mic, you can hear yourself.
in the background? Yeah, a little bit. Well,
Hang on, let me
yeah, I
turn
can
my
still
volume
hear you.
down. I don't hear you.
You don't hear me? Am I there now?
I hear you. I
All
hear
right,
you
yeah.
now. You get it now?
No, we're good now. Yeah, I just unplugged and I think we're good to go now. But yeah, that's pretty much my little awake bullcrap story. We just kid said flat Earth one day, got punched in the face, and I was like,
Yeah.
why would he get so pissed off about that? And then in the back of my mind, I'm like, why was my girlfriend so pissed off every time I would talk about how 9/11's an inside job and you're un-American, you're a threat to whatever. I'm like, you guys got to give me a break, you know?
Yeah, it's my story is kind of similar to that, not the flat Earth story, but I started with 9/11. It was literally, dude, I've been single since the end of 2009. It was right after that I started my awakening. I was watching Netflix, saw a documentary um, on the World Trade Center, and totally, made me start digging into that.
Hey, Brian, I'm getting some interference on your side, it sounds like.
Stuff. I talked through all events, all schools, thing, yeah, and all the way forward. Um, I knew, and actually I've done shows on Apollo. So
Hey, Brian, you sound like a robot right now. What Yeah, I'm not really getting your voice through right now. Here, let me try this real quick. All right, can you hear me, guys? Am I there? No, he sounded like an alien. He just dropped out, so hopefully he'll be back in a second. But yeah, he was just talking about how back in the day they had truth out everywhere in people's faces, and no one was even smart enough to pick up on it because they had like he's saying, there was a documentary up on Netflix, and it wasn't really. I saw it a couple times. It wasn't really too in depth, but it was enough to keep people awake and going on the whole 9/11 deal. But all right, he's back.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, you sound a lot better now.
All right, I lost internet. Yeah, so I mean, I started with 9/11, but after getting through that and all the fakery, and then in 2011, seeing the Gabby Giffords, what that was, 2012, the thing in Connecticut, and all the other similar things after that we don't need to, really go down the list. We all know what
Oh my God, dude! I like I told you before, it was so weird when that happened because you had that, then you had the event in Boston, and for some freaking reason, bro, I was suspended from school both of those days, so I got to watch those live. And in my head, looking back at it now, maybe it was God making me watch this stuff live, so that when presented with the idea that it could be a hoax later on, it was a little easier for me to pick up on because who has 6 cop cars at a school shooting? Give me a fucking break, 6 cop cars, 2 ambulances, and 8 kids walking out of your school. That's the biggest crap I've ever seen in my life.
No, it's a joke. And honestly, dude, after you see 9/11 for what it is, those things are just, I mean, it's not even a weekend conspiracy. I mean, because Apollo, I'll stop at Apollo. Apollo took me a night. I'll say 2 because I watched heavy stuff for a couple of days and I continued to look at it. But I already knew after the first night, it's like, this is a fucking joke, dude, because I already know about the media fakery. I already know about all. See, this stuff was in 9/11 too. All these lighting issues and shadow issues and inconsistencies with the footage. It's all the same shit, the same people. You know, they
Oh my
probably
God,
planned the
without a
same
doubt.
things at the same time and just rolled them out at different times. Who knows, right? So they, you know, you look at Apollo and it's a real joke because it's so much older. It's 30 years older than 9/11, and you look at it and you're like, oh my God. This is crazy. So then after that, and then seeing all those those other fake events that we were talking about, Colorado, fucking just go on and on and on. But
What about the one they just had a couple weeks ago? I don't even know where. Yeah, it was another school in Colorado. They go on live TV. They say it's an event, we'll call it, at a double elementary school. 10 minutes later, it changes to an event at a double high school. Like, get your story straight, people. There's a big difference between an elementary school and a high school because they didn't change it until the students started walking out, and they were all like, 5'6", 5'9". Like, what kind of elementary school has 5'9" fucking kids with beards? Give me a break on that.
yeah, honestly, dude, I didn't look because I don't even look at those anymore. I've totally just unplugged from them because it's just like looking at NASA fakery now. It's like looking at ISS footage, right? It's a complete waste of time. But that's where, for me, I went in through looking into the ISS in 2013 because there was no flat Earth stuff yet. But then in the summer of 2014, I started to look into it a bit, and I talked about it a few times in the fall of 2014. So by the winter of 2014, going into 2015, I was already convinced of it. But here's the thing: for me, it was never hard because right out the gate, the first thing I heard, right, I saw this video. There's this channel that puts out these videos, Steve, that's called stuff they don't really want you to know, and it's just
Oh,
like
that shit had me back in the day too. Give you 2 minutes of disinfo with one truth.
yeah, so it had a flat Earth one, right? So right off the bat, you got the disc going up in space, the water off the edge, the whole thing, right? You got all the shit going on, right? And then, but he starts off narrating it, and they're showing like I forget exactly what they were showing from NASA. I think it was spacewalks in black and white or something, right? It's just some shitty footage. And he's like, flat Earthers. He's like, they think that and this is the first time I've ever heard of flat Earth, really. He's like, flat Earthers. They think that all of NASA's imagery is fake. And the guy's like, I know that images can be fake, but they think all their imagery is fake. And I'm just like, well, I can absolutely believe all the imagery is fake because all the imagery from 9/11 is fake. The entire Apollo moon program, which they're basically built off of, which is the greatest achievement in mankind, is fake. The ISS is completely fake. Satellites in space I knew were fake at the time as well. Right before I got to this point, I was just coming into that and out of it, right? Satellites as a whole. So all of that's fake. And then, after you hear that, well, then and as much as he's lost his shit now, Matt Powell was out there super early, and he did make some good points in the photo versus painting thing. As much as I think he's crazy now and I can't listen to him, you realize that, okay, I knew right away when I seen the picture that it's fake. I already know all the other pictures are fake. That wasn't hard for me to believe either. Then it was the flight routes. Before any flat Earth videos came out, any documentaries, there were like two people that put out videos about the flight routes.
Who was it? That German guy?
And there was one about how the GPS didn't work in the Southern Hemisphere. And once you start to look at that, everything kind of starts to fall together. And then when you start thinking about it, because then you're looking at flights, you're watching them disappear over all the large oceans in the South. And I know a lot of people in the chat get that, but I do have some Mandela friends here that might not understand that. Like, imagine you put your family on a flight going over the oceans, like the South Pacific Ocean or Indian Ocean, for, 8-10 hours or whatever. And they're not even tracked on GPS the entire time because it's part of some deception. It's not important. Well, if it's not important, why are they hiding fucking planes and risking people's lives? I mean, it's absolutely insane. So once you start to see that and you get presented with the AE map for the first time, you start to see how flights really work and the layovers and where they're at, and they're really in the middle. They're not these diversions that we're meant to believe that they are on the globe. And then because you're already thinking that, I start to think about airplanes. And it just, how does an airplane work on a spinning ball, Steve? I mean, just for a million reasons, a fucking airplane doesn't work on a spinning ball, dude. And
I thought about that.
You can't even get an explanation. There's not even pilots that are going to argue with you and say, this is how we compensate to make it work. There's no compensation of any such made. They just happen to work as if you're flying over a flat and stationary, as if my ass. That's exactly what the fuck you're doing.
Nah, you're right, bro. But about the plane, you like it doesn't work on a globe, and that always sat with me wrong as a kid because our family used to go on not a lot of vacations, but like every 2 years we get on a plane or something. And me being like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, however old I was at the time, it always just sat wrong with me that I would never feel us like shifting down. I'm like, are we just gonna fly out into outer space? Like I used to in my head have like a little panic attack while I'd be on these planes. I'm like, we're just gonna keep going out in space. I'm like, the pilot's not bringing us down. We're gonna die, and then we land. I'm just like, how do we get there if we didn't go down? If you just take off on a globe and keep going straight, you're gone. You're gone.
Space. You're gonna end up in space in like minutes, dude. It's not even gonna be like a long time. You know what I mean?
Oh, right.
You're gonna drop thousands of feet every fucking minute, bro.
Yeah, and they have their little gyroscope that always it's presented as level. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's one of the big ones for me. Like you said, planes and flight paths. Those the flight paths, like they don't even make sense. Like if I'm trying to go from Australia to Chile, why am I having a layover in Anchorage, Australia, Anchorage, Alaska? What sense does that make? And then you pull out the AE map, like you say, and it's literally a straight line. It's like, wow.
And especially when you get raped on plane fare, right? Airfare. The excuse given is because the jet fuel costs so much. So why would they fly fucking 4,000 miles out of the way to go do these layovers if that was really the case? They would never do that.
See, jet fuel. I don't know it. I don't know if these planes are running off jet fuel, Brian. That's just a personal theory on mine. I don't,
I hear you.
You know what I'm saying. And another thing with the flight maps, you're saying in the loss of GPS in the southern hemisphere. What do you think of those planes that have been going missing the past couple of years? You think they're just turning their GPSs off, saying like, "Oh, instead of autopilot, we got this. We're just gonna go south," and they end up just south. You know what I'm saying?
Well, if let's just say the MH370 was real and not fake, because I don't know, I didn't look at it enough, right?
No, me neither. I'm just hearsay and shit.
Yeah. So let's say the Malaysian flight was real, right? And let's say it went down over the Southern Pacific Ocean, and it went down in a part that's uncharted on GPS because we know that those huge oceans are much larger on the flat Earth than they are on the globe, especially the South Pacific, right?
Yes, sir.
So it would go in an area that would be uncharted. Rescue crews would never find it. Just to save a passenger plane, they're not gonna let that secret out and let rescue crews go find it. So those people would just die. So those are your relatives that they would let just fucking die out there, people, to keep alive. What's it matter though? No big deal.
No, it doesn't mean shit to them. If you go read the Georgia Guidestones, they need us to have 500,000 population worldwide to pull their little plan off. So I don't even, I'm not saying those are 100% legit, but it's just in your face that way to get you more paranoid than that. There's a lot of fear porn going around. You can't buy into all that stuff. You got to just take what's given to you, feel what, take what feels right inside of you and your heart and your fucking, your gut and your mind, and you just make your own assumptions. Don't let the mainstream, people got to let go of the mainstream. Mainstream is nothing but fear porn and is nothing but predictive programming on a mass level. And that's what bothers me the most. I got my boss at work who doesn't watch anything but Fox News, and this is the most legit news. CNN's fake. This is fake, and all throughout the day, I just point out to her that's fake. This is fake. That's fake. This is your station of quote unquote truth, reality. Fake, 100% fake. Fox, FOX. I think it's the the Greek numerology calculator breaks down to 666 perfectly.
Yeah.
A, B, C, D, E, F, 6, and then it goes for 11. Then another O is another 6, and then X is another 6. It's right there in front of your faces, and they deny that like it's like it's a disease or some shit. It's ridiculous. I can't understand that. What's the point of watching these presidential debates and whatever the hell they are? Fake, bro. It's all 100% fake. They're all lies. It's all just to get people fired up. They can't have their plan without the division, and that's just not for Democrats, Republicans. That's it goes into the flat Earth community. People are spending years of their life, Brian, debating if it's if it's a dome versus no dome, if there's land versus more land, if there's another Earth pod or not. And I'm just like, you guys got to get out of this division. You're all on the same team and expand, migrate, apply the chemtrails to the flat Earth model, apply Mandela effect, how it all plays in, apply the solar simulator that people don't see.
Mm-hmm.
That shit gets me going. And I remember the sun. I don't know how you remember the sun. I remember the sun being a goddamn circle, and I remember it being yellow and orange.
Yeah.
Now you look at the sun, you can't even look near the sun because it's white. And then when you snap a photo of it, 9 out of 10, it's a hexagon.
Yeah. I think there's still the yellow sun exists. I just think that they have other stuff up there as well, and that one of them being that hexagon, if not more of them.
Oh, I think if you've seen the Boeing
Because we
commercial,
still get pictures of the yellow sun. Paul Knight, he took one, and it's very rare, but he got a picture of the yellow sun a month or two ago.
no, I wouldn't doubt it. I'm not saying the yellow sun isn't out there. There's people ask me all the time if there's a solar simulator.
I'm saying it that way, Steve, because a lot of my people are Mandela people. They I might be wrong, they might be right, but a lot of them think it's a Mandela effect with the sun, and I know I'll take some heat for this because a lot of people say that. My opinion, though, is you're just seeing literally a different object in the sky than what you saw before.
No, 100%. I think they're just putting these simulators in front of the sun every X amount of miles. There's probably at least 20 simulators because they have to follow the sun at all times. And when they have their blanket of chemtrails out and the Operation Solar Shield, they don't want you to see the sun. They want to shield you from it because like I told you, 6 days out of 7, they got the simulator up in front of it, in front of the real sun. And I don't see what point that makes. If global warming was real, I can maybe understand that, but global warming is not real. If all these polar bears and all this shit in the Arctic are dying, send them to Massachusetts, bro. You know how cold it is here. It's been like 4 degrees, 10 degrees, like 30 degrees max the past couple of weeks for highs.
Yeah.
It's so ridiculous. And I bet it's a little colder where you are because you got the water more near you. I'm in Springfield. I'm, shielded by like 70 miles of land. So,
yeah.
Where are you from again? You're from Lowell, right?
Yeah.
Lowell, Mass. Yeah, I gotta make my way up there. I haven't been out that way too often. I stay more local. I work 6 days a week. I run my own restaurant, so I got all my time invested in here. And when I'm not there, I'm on here. Because there's nothing else that I want to do. Because
I hear
you. These people don't understand that the world that they remember, the world that they had, is slowly collapsing around them. I don't know if it's for better. I don't know if it's for worse, but something is happening and people need to wake up and people need to understand that this is a spiritual battle for your souls. And I know you know a lot about that because you and when you were talking about a couple months ago, I don't know when it was. I just listen all the time, and you're telling someone that the chemtrail agenda is possibly to disrupt our consciousness from the creator, from ourselves, and that resonated with me 100% because when they spray, shit, I don't want to do nothing, bro. I just want to go home and lay down. But that's why I get on YouTube to fight that feeling, get all fired up like we are now. Because if I wasn't doing this right now, 7:36, I'd probably be sleeping right now. You know what I'm saying? It's just it's like a life drainer. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. That's what I think they're for. I mean, really, like right when you get into any type of conspiracies, right? First thing you hear is like Gulf of Tonkin and chemtrails are here to poison you, right? I mean, so obviously Gulf of Tonkin's probably totally fake and chemtrails not really here to poison you. Alex Jones isn't going to be giving you the truth. He's going to send you in a different direction. People see these things, so it has to be addressed. So what are they going to do? They're going to spin you off in a fucking fear direction. My opinion, it's more of a spiritual war up there, and it's to hold down our consciousness. And I don't think it's, for the most part, I know there are probably some real planes doing it, but for the most part, I don't even think it's airplanes spraying it, and that's just a cover.
Oh no, you're 100% right. But I caught that. I just have a regular old iPhone or whatever, so I can't really focus in and get a good zoom on these planes and whatever. But the other morning, I'm looking at this one plane spraying, and I caught it on video. You could clearly see there's a plane there, at least to the naked eye. And right as I end the video, I'm about to go inside. I just look up to the left, and here comes this nothing just leaving a chemtrail. There was nothing there. There wasn't a shadow. There wasn't like
There's
a
so much
second
footage.
light. It was ridiculous. And
There's
then,
so much footage of non-solid objects and orbs leaving chemtrails. I mean, you can't deny it, and it's real video, bro. And if there's anything I've done in my day of researching, it's literally researching video to look for fakery involving airplanes. Literally, how I started my whole thing.
no shit, right? No planes, 9/11. So you already know what a no plane looks like, you know?
There are real videos out there. Of course, there'll be fakes too, but there's real videos out there of this, and I can see them turning into it. And I seen one the other night myself with my own eye, and it changed directions. It was a fucking orb that was going left to right, changed it to a fucking plane, and then went right to left. Like
That's
nobody,
fucked up.
like it was nobody's business. Like they didn't even care if anybody seen it, and maybe nobody else could see it but me. I don't know.
That's how I feel about it, bro. Because when I saw the one that wasn't spraying anything, I took my camera out, I hit record. Within 5 seconds, Brian had stopped spraying.
Yeah.
I was like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. And then I stopped recording. I just put my phone back in my pocket. It goes on the other side of the sun like 5 seconds later and just starts ripping them out again. I was like, this motherfucker knows I'm recording it. And if it was an airplane, you couldn't even know I was there recording it. You know, like, what do you got?
My camera was failing trying to do it. I know Suso's camera failed when he tried to do that with a star. There's some intelligence up there that knows what the fuck when you're trying to observe it or when you're trying to share that observation with others.
Oh yeah, well, our phones are technically AI robots if you look into the microchipping and all that other stuff, and you know the iOS system and the cloud and how they're all connected. So they know what we're looking at all times. Over the summer, there was not a cloud in the sky, but you look up and it was literally just a hexagon in the sky, just the sun. You didn't even need a camera to see it was a hexagon. So I'm trying to take pictures and videos of it, and not one of them saved. So I had to go to Verizon, and they had to reset my phone. Almost deleted everything I ever had on my phone just to get it back working right. So they know what we're doing, and there's no really hiding what we're doing. I'm not hiding what I'm doing. I want everyone to know I think the Earth is flat. The sun's a hexagon. Chemtrails are real because it is what it is. This isn't a conspiracy. This is reality, people. And with the Mandela effect happening, reality is, I don't know if it's shifting, but there's somewhat altering it, you know?
Yeah.
I can't you're the Mandela guy. I can't go I got some ones that resonate. They're just, big ones. Ed McMahon. It's big for you because he's from where you're from, and I'm sure you're tired of beating that horse down. But where'd all those commercials come from the other day? What the fuck is that?
That's crazy. I mean, I all of a sudden there's like 20 fucking new the new reality American Family Publishing commercials, and we've all done Ed McMahon videos in the community. I mean, he's like, probably the biggest Mandela effect, and we all researched Ed McMahon for whatever commercials he was in when we did our videos, and these aren't hard to find out. They're simply right there. Type Ed McMahon American Family Publishing in YouTube, and there's pages of them, and they all just came in. They all just came in and flooded this reality right now, to reinforce this new thing, so there's some backstory evidence of it. And what I think it is because this Mandela Effect movie's coming out, so they're putting all this stuff out in the media. So when they just so that they're going to put all this stuff in the media, because what's going to happen? People see the movie. If they're not already Mandela people, well, they're going to go look for Ed McMahon. Now, what happens when they go to look for Ed McMahon and YouTube is littered with American Family Publishing? They're going to be like, oh, these people are fucking retarded. There's 20 commercials of him for 13 years with them. And that whole story changed because it wasn't for 13 years. Even a few months ago, the story was he was with them for a year. The company was in business for 5 years. Now he's with them for 13 years and with Dick Clark for 5 years.
No, you're 100% right. If you go on Google or Wiki, whatever the fuck it is, and you type in America Family Publishers, there's like a little disclaimer part on the Wikipedia page that says America's Publishers House is not to be confused with Publishers Clearinghouse, who never had Ed McMahon, who works for us. I'm like, why the fuck would you even say that?
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense. And like you said, the backstories on these Mandela effects, some of them are ridiculous. And some of them I've noticed, I'd never noticed South America moving. I didn't notice a change of that till a couple of months ago.
Yeah.
But when I was around, I'd say this is called ballpark 10. So about 15 years ago, all of our parents, they used to, meet up on, New Year's Eve and whatnot, go out to eat and leave us all at home with a babysitter or, whatever it would be, just someone older than us to watch over us, make sure we didn't, break into the booze cabinet or, whatever it would be. So we're watching I think Nickelodeon or some crap, and they're just doing ball drops around the world, and it's like 7 or 8 o'clock where we were, and they're doing the ball drop in Brazil, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on right now? I was like, Brazil's right below us, and I look at this other chick who was watching over us. It was my buddy's older sister, and she's got nothing but straight A's through high school, through all everything. She's smart, book smart. We can recite anything from any textbook ever made, probably. So fully indoctrinated. I look at her, I'm like, what sense does this make? And she had not an explanation. And hearing about South America changing, 15 years later, I'm like, how the fuck did this backstory for me personally come up now or come up
Yeah.
then? And then I see about this now. Like that threw me off, man. That was for me, South America is probably top three
Yeah.
Mandela effects, no doubt.
Hell yeah, dude. That was my number one until Black Tom. So it's
Oh, Jesus Christ. Have you seen the Black Tom Island they have now?
oh yeah.
Oh my God, that threw me away. I was just on Google Maps showing people where Liberty Island is, and just to the left of Liberty Island, Black Tom Island's up there all of a sudden. That had me freaking out the other night.
Well,
That
that
has me.
island is where they set the explosion. So that island's been there now in this new reality for a couple years.
I know that's so ridiculous. And well, how would I know what the staircase to the torch looks like if no one's been there since 1916 or whatever the fuck?
Yeah.
That hits hard with me. I've never been there. I'm only 24, but my dad's been there. His friends, his brothers, and stuff. They used to take field trips up to New York, and they've been there, and he can't find any pictures of it either, which is ridiculous. So all that's gone. The Mandela effect just takes pictures and just throws them out. Apparently, in reality, so there's no proof that that ever happened.
Yeah, it'll even not just get rid of pictures, it'll even change pictures that you still might have. Like for instance, if you're standing in front of a jet on a tarmac and the engines were the old way in your picture, well they'll move on you in the picture and you could still have the picture.
Oh, dude, yeah, without a doubt. I haven't looked too far into like residue like that, or that what should be residue but isn't. You take a picture 20 years ago, and it's the new way of it, the whole the jet engines. That doesn't make any sense to me. Like that plane should be falling out of the sky all the time.
Yeah.
Like, how you gonna fly a plane where the engines are in the front of the wing now?
It
That
doesn't
makes
even look structurally sound at all.
No, dude, no. It's the most backwards thing I ever heard in my life, and that just makes me think further that the whole the jet fuel thing isn't a thing, because if you're gonna have your engines just making your thing totally just unaerodynamic, unsafe, and just like you said, mechanically unsound, what the fuck is this shit running off of?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's just my little spiel on all that, but
Steve, can I start a cup of coffee? You want to just give the chat a shout out or something? Give me like 3 minutes to get a coffee going.
You know what? I got an iced coffee in the fridge. I gotta go grab. So
All right,
why don't
cool.
I just put a song up real quick, and we'll be back in 5? Is that cool?
That's cool, me brother. I'll be right back.
All right, sounds good. And this is gonna be some ODD TV. If you guys don't know who he is, make sure you like, share, and subscribe him. He is one of the best truth music producers, makers in the game. So this is Don't Worry About a Thing, ODD, and we'll be back in 5. Oh, right after this ad, unfortunately. There we go. All right. Well, I'm back. Just had to go grab a coffee real quick. And oh well, I guess the audio sucked there. So next time I'll put my earphones in. It seemed to work a lot better in the intro. So it is what it is. So let's just go through the chat real quick while Brian's getting his coffee. And let's see what we got. Seen two moons at once. I've seen some crazy shit with the moon. I don't know about anyone. If you guys have seen what's that, Crow 777, the lunar waves. I don't know what you guys feel about that, but that's kind of some interesting stuff. And so the dark side of the moon facing the sun, dude. Yeah, absolutely. I see that all the time. You back, Brian?
I am back now. Yep.
Sounds good. Sounds good. What was I gonna say? You wanna talk some paranormal real quick? You wanna get that going?
I mean, if you want, yeah, go ahead. Start the convo. What do you want to talk about?
Yeah. So all through my high school career, pretty much, and going on forward from that, I've always just had like an eye for paranormal research. You got shit like ghost hunters, ghost adventures on, really get kids into all that stuff, which looking back on it now is something you should not fucking get involved with, because that shit is real, that shit is scary, and that shit'll fuck with you for the rest of your life. No bullshit. So you watch all those shows on TV and you're like, oh, that's kind of cool, let's go talk to something that ain't there. So I took it upon myself to buy a couple things of equipment, just like a EMF detector, one of the EVP recorders, a couple other things. I can't really think of what they all are right now. Got a pretty nasty camera. It's one of like a Sony 1080p. You could hold it with you can hold it with both your hands. It's goddamn huge. So I was gonna invest a lot of time into that, but I don't know, man. That stuff is just not for me, man. That stuff brought me back to God so quick. You have no idea. I even went out and bought a spirit board at one point. I don't know if you ever mess around with anything like that.
A spirit board? Is that like a Ouija board?
Yeah. There's multiple. You could have a Ouija board, and there's the what are they called? The Voodoo people. They have their own type of board. I just anyone could have any type of board that you know contacts the other side. I just go for the broad
Well,
name
we did.
spirit board. Yeah.
We had it, and I used it up in the. My house was really haunted, and it used to be an orphanage back in the day. And then some of the orphan kids actually died up in the attic. And
Shit.
we went up there with the Ouija board, talking shit and trying to do all whatever we could with it. And I ended up getting pinned up against the wall by some unseen fucking force.
Dude, without a doubt, you talk shit to them fuckers, and they lash back, dude. So, and I don't know if you know, in Belchertown, not too far from where I am, there's a the Belchertown State Schools for the the mentally sick, and I don't even know what went on there back in the day. It's all shut down now, being renovated. But before they started renovations, I got a board, and me and my buddy brought it there, and nothing was really happening at first. We brought the board out, started messing with it, taunting it, whatever. Nothing was really happening, and this random bug comes out of nowhere. No bullshit. My friend, I don't know why, slaps it went on the board. This kid slaps the bug on the board, and like just like that, it all started. I don't know if like killing something on a Ouija board is like something like esoteric or satanic or whatever you want to call it, or initiates like contact. But the second that happened, there was we're trying to get into these buildings, and they're bolted shut, Brian. You can't get into them. And on his phone, he used to have a video of this whole situation. It was about a hour video of all this going down. And this door flies open, and then it shuts on us, and then the wind picks up, and then it was just the middle of the summer, may I tell you, and every hair on my body stood up. It was the coldest thing I've ever felt. Well, at the time I ever felt, because I told you before about the Hoosick Tunnel and all that other shit we were talking, or you were in the chat.
You did, but there was like 2 people there, and there's 70 something people here now. So why don't you tell people?
Yeah. So, back at Belchertown, so that we killed the thing on the board. Shit goes flying, doors open, doors are closing. So we're like, let's get the hell out of here. And this place, Brian, is about the size of a golf course, maybe 9 holes of a golf course. It took us 45 minutes to find the exit. We were so scared and running so fast, we couldn't find how to get out of there. And every time every time I looked to my right, there was someone in the trees looking at us, like a bunch of little looking figures, and it was just freaking me out. So we got on out of there. And the next day we go to review the evidence, right? Or it was on his iPod, I believe, at the time. It was the first one that had the camera. His iPod was locked for like 10 or for I don't even know, bro. It was like 300 years his phone was locked for. We couldn't even get on it. He had to reset the factory settings. The people at the iPhone store never seen anything like that in their lives. So I think we may have caught something, and it just blocked us out of there. So with all that happening, about a year and a half later, I find out there's a haunted, what would you call it, a railroad station tunnel type deal up in North Adams, Mass, which is, it's kind of far away from me, but at the time I was, very invested, like mentally, into all this stuff. So we didn't bring the board up there, thank God. But we went up there probably 3 or 4 times in total. First time we went up there, nothing real happened. It was just a lot of personal fear from me, my friends, and we just went in there for like 5 minutes, and then, I was like, let's get the fuck out of here, So we got some balls and went back a couple other times, and the third time we went back, that was probably top 3, top 2 maybe scariest moments of my life. So we get there, it's me, my friend Heather, this kid Nate, and this other kid Connor. We get there, we all go in, and off grip, I'm just not feeling right. I'm like behind everyone, I'm watching them all, I'm getting these like weird emotions and thoughts going through my head that I never felt before.
Yeah.
And right then and there, I knew it was on. Something was about to go down. So I rushed everyone out of there. I was like, we got to get out of here. We got to smoke a blunt. We got to regroup, because I feel like beating the fuck out of all of you for no reason. For no reason. And at that time, we just chilled out for a minute, and we went back in there. No bullshit, Brian. We went back in there, and there's this doll sitting there. Like,
Get the fuck
we
out of
went.
here, dude.
I'm not, dude. I got chills on my arms right now talking about this shit. Like, there was a fucking doll that had a porcelain head that was from like, I don't even know, dude. My mom said she recognized it from like when she was a kid, and she's almost 60. So that's just like, I don't know why it was there. I don't know how it got there. We were in the tunnel probably 20 minutes, like, before that, and we went further than where we found it. So we're looking at this thing. We see it's got a head, and I was like, yo, this is effed up. So we beat feet for the night. We go back the next night to see if this thing's still there. And dude, we walk up to this doll. It doesn't have a head. It's like, looks like there's like wires hanging around like its head. It looks like it's been there for 50 years. It was so dirty. There was dust all over it. It was ripped, all this other stuff, but the head was missing. So that freaked me out a little bit. So it was the same group of people that went. We all go out, and I was getting a weird vibe. And for people that don't know, sometimes spirits, like negative spirits, they see four humans, and they're not trying to mess with that because there's too much energy, positive energy to do anything with. And in my head, I'm trying to get evidence of, what possibly could have put a fucking doll here. And yeah, we go in 2 by 2, and we only went in once because you're not gonna believe this shit, bro. We go in, we go in there, just me and this chick Heather, and she's very like spiritually awake, and she knows about all this other stuff, which probably wasn't the best like combo of us two going in there. So we go in there, we walk up to the doll, dude, like we walk up to the fucking doll, and then like right as I don't even know, right as we look at it, I just hear glass break, and I look at her feet, and the fucking porcelain head is right there. And I was like, it's about to get real. And within seconds, she looks at me, she's like, dude, I do not feel good. I was like, oh shit. And then seconds later, my stomach turned too. I was like, oh my God. I was like, this shit's actually about to happen. She wants to run out. I'm like, nah, nah, nah. I'm like, I'm here to fuck with this motherfucker. So I fucking start saying Jesus's name and, trying to get it going, get it all fired up. And I feel this like fucked up, like frozen feeling come up my arm. And then the next thing I know, it feels like there's a tentacle going around my whole body. I was just standing there. I turn around. She's like 30 steps walking the other way. I'm like, yo, like I'm fucking frozen right now. Like, you gotta like come help me out or something. And she just looked at me like she could not do anything because there was something that had me, bro. And I just stopped the name of Jesus in my head so hard and so loud and just broke free of that. We get home, or we get out of there. The other two retards want to go in there next. I'm like, no, 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 no. We're wrapping this up. We're going home. Dude, I get home. There's 3 claw marks going down my left arm that was getting like frozen. Like it's disturbing what happened to me. 3 claw marks basically from where your tricep starts on the top of your shoulder all the way down to my almost the tip of my elbow. 3 distinct claw marks. And I didn't see him or feel him at the time, but the whole ride home, I've never gotten a tattoo in my life, but I could only imagine like that's what a tattoo felt like, because it just felt like there was like bugs biting my arm the whole ride home. And I'm like, it's kind of muggy outside. There could be a bug in the car. So I didn't think much of it. Get home, I got these claw marks down my arm, and that scared the shit out of me because I don't know about you, but I'm well aware that if you get marked by something that ain't there and it leaves 3 marks on you, that's a mocking of the Trinity, bro. That shit's demonic. That shit is active. That shit wants you. So that happened to me. I immediately like just had this like second like spiritual awakening. I wanted nothing to do with this place. But like 2 weeks later, my stupid ass friends convinced me to go back there, bro. And that's when the real shit happened. That was like, because I got one of these events on video, the one with the doll. I can actually, you know what? I can probably get that link in the chat in a couple minutes. That was That's like a 40-minute video. It's just raw footage. There's no editing. It's just me and a handheld camera, 3 other people, and you guys can, say what you want about it. It's fake. No, it ain't fake. There's a fucking doll that shows up out of fucking nowhere. That shit still fucks with my head. So, my friends, we go back a couple weeks later, and Heather at the time, she moved within those 2 weeks. She was already planning on moving, so it's not like this fuck with her and she moved. She moved down to Florida. So me and the 2 morons, we go up there, and this thing's 5 miles deep, by the way. So we got probably almost 2.5 miles through it.
Yep.
And nothing happened. And out of nowhere, we just feel the walls shaking. And I'm just like, there's a train coming. There's these little like bum huts left and right. So we hop in one of the little bum huts or whatever you call it. There's like little holes in the wall. You could just hop in there in case a train comes. I don't even know what the hell they're for. Maintenance, maybe. I have no idea. So we hop in there for like 3 minutes. Nothing. Not a train, not a light, nothing. So I'm in my head like, shit, I just got scratched by something in here. This shit just shook the whole tunnel. So I'm out, I'm like, you guys can stay. I'm out. I'm leading this pack out, me and the 2 guys behind me. And, I'm head down. The only thing I'm thinking about is getting the fuck out of here. Like, getting out of here. Like, we need to leave. And every 100 feet, there's a mark on the wall. So it'll be like 1, and then it'll be like, 2 and 3, which will, it'd be like 300 feet, 4 for 400, and on and on and on and on. We were at like marker 256. And every time I looked up, like 70 marks went down. Like I was trucking out of there. And these 2 were behind me. We get to like 50, 40 and 30. And I felt out of nowhere. And this is pretty much when I stopped drinking too. I felt hammered. I couldn't even walk. I couldn't talk. I didn't know what was going on. And when I finally like snapped back into it, these 2 are in front of me outside of the tunnel. I'm like maybe 100 or 200 feet in. And out of nowhere, I just hear like this growl behind me. And I don't know what the fuck took over my head. I don't know what took over my mind, but I have all this equipment that we could have caught this shit with on there. I drop it all, Brian, and I just run into the tunnel because I'm pissed off that we walked, 2-3 miles into this thing and now it wants to show itself as we're leaving.
Yeah.
So I fucking jolt in there with no equipment, no flashlight, nothing. And by the time I stopped running, I look to the left of me. I'm at the 3rd marker, which indicates 300 feet. I look at my phone for some reason. It's 3:33 in the fucking morning. And next thing I know, bro, there's like a blue jolt of like bolt of lightning that just goes over my head outside of the tunnel. My boys were like, holy shit, what the fuck was that? Mind you, it was just me, this kid, and another kid. I look outside the tunnel. I see 1, 2, and to the left of them, or to the right of them, which was their left actually, there's a 3rd shadow, bigger than them, about 6, 7, 8 feet tall. And I was like, yo, there's 3 of you out there. So they run up in here. I get grabbed from behind. They're all freaking out. They didn't know what the hell happened. The lightning I don't even know what the fuck it was. We saw it was like some blue plasma wave, went from where it was outside of the tunnel and just shot back in. And then out of nowhere, dude, out of nowhere, this fucking train comes out of nowhere. We didn't see a light. We didn't hear it. I was like, what the fuck is going on right now? And since then, I'd never been back there, and I have no interest in going back there.
Yeah,
Because what happened when I got home, bro, so I don't know if you know what a spirit box is. It goes through the frequencies, AM, FM, it just so quick you can't even get a letter out, right? So I have one of those in my backpack. I come home, I open my door upstairs. Somehow, dude, this thing is on the middle of my bed and it turns on the second I open the door and it just starts scanning. And then I heard this weird noise come out of it. I turned it off. I was like, all right, let me just turn the TV on, try to calm down. Dude, the second I turned my TV on, that shit growled at me. I got the fuck out of my house that night and I slept in my car. I couldn't walk back in my house. I was fucking petrified.
Steve, do you have your YouTube open?
I don't, but I can get it open right
Can you
now.
open it? And can you open it and at least give me a wrench? Because there's going to be an issue we're going to need to take care of.
Oh, we got someone talking shit.
Yeah, it's a known person that's been following me around, and they're going to stop putting really disgusting shit in your chat any second. So give me a wrench, please.
All right, let me.
Sorry to interrupt you. I just don't want to
No,
see
no,
it.
you're 100%. We don't want to deal with any of these people. So let me just mute this. There we go. There we go. Let's get that. And where are you in the chat, Brian? You want to just say something real quick so I can get you?
All right, I just did now.
I got you. Oh shit. So what do I do? Do I click on you?
Yeah, to the right of my name, you'll see 3 dots. Hit that and then hit add moderator. Put the cursor way to the right of my name.
Yeah, I got you right there. All right, so you got a wrench now. You know what? I'm gonna give Karen B a wrench because she's pretty goddamn cool.
All right, cool.
She seems like she knows her shit. And yeah, I guess that'll do for now. But yeah, fuck trolls, man. They can kiss my ass. I don't know why the fuck people follow you around trying to bash your channel. I don't know if people have an issue with you, bro. You're like a fucking like 40-year-old version of me, and I love it. I love every fucking second of it. You don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. Middle fingers to the haters. Like you say, we are the fucking best. Not just you and me, but everyone in the chat, Carla's, all these people.
Yeah, we are the fucking best. People get mad that we say that too. I don't say we're the best like me and who's ever on my show. I say it as like the community that we have in general. Like we're the best. We're positive. We don't need to be fucking assholes. Honestly, dude, that's my thing. And I don't want to get into calling people out. I'm just saying we don't need assholes in any of these communities. Like the people that are assholes and just breed hate and bring people down, we don't need them. They're not so great that we need their information. None of them. There's plenty of good people that put out plenty of information without having to take stuff from any assholes. I won't deal with it. And I won't have them in my chat. I won't have that type of vibe in my chat because it's just not even worth it, bro. And I know sometimes I fire back a little bit, but you see how much I'm attacked. I still have yet to make one video on people because I'm not going to waste my time doing that. Those
No,
people,
you're
they
100%.
have no content. They don't do anything to stimulate anybody's mind. So all they do is chop up my videos and tell Karen she has a penis, and now I'm a female, I guess. And whatever, dude.
I don't understand any of that stuff, dude. I don't know why people put so much effort into trying to put people down. Like even if you are out here putting out straight disinfo, like I still give people a chance to, at least write themselves. But, if you're not even going to take that chance or listen to what we got to say, I don't want to say you're dead to me, but you're fucking dead to me. So yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah, you got to give everybody a chance. And I know there's like a lot of people, I might have done shows with or do shows with people like, oh, don't go on with that person, don't go on with this person. Just give it a chance, see how the show goes. And every single time, I fucking pretty much hit it out of the park on all my interviews. I haven't been censored, really. By who? I mean, Fetzer and these guys tried to talk with me, and that whole shit Judy Wood did with me. But since 9/11, I mean, and even then, at least I still got my fucking voice out there, Like I'm still I'd take these opportunities any day. Just like I know a lot of these people criticizing like David Weiss for going on Alex Jones. Fuck Alex Jones, right? First of all, anybody that trusts Alex Jones is an idiot. But if I was David, I would have done the exact same thing. Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you try and go and lay out the message? Because if you don't, it's just somebody else less qualified is going to do it.
No, without a doubt, bro. That's the last thing I want is the what the fuck's his name, dude? Alex Jones. Last thing I want is him teaming up with like a Dubé type deal, and then everyone's like, then we're just the asshole community, There's no time for that. And a funny thing about Alex Jones is everyone's like, oh, everyone must have ran to Alex Jones on the way. Dude, I didn't know who Alex Jones was till last fucking year. Like, I don't know how I just never found him or he was never brought up. I didn't know who he was till I think RFB for like a big disinfo video on him. And I was like, who the fuck is this guy crying about everything? So,
oh, lucky for you, man.
Dude, yeah, dude, I don't know. I feel like God has like shielded me and like what do you call it? I can't even think right now, but he's like guided me away from all of these assholes and made me see stuff that really matters. Like I just think, me, like I said before, me being for some reason like suspended for some god known reason on the Monday of
Sandy Hook.
Boston bombing, and then you have Sandy Hook on Friday, on a different Friday, probably a different year. I think that the creator God wanted me to see that as it was raw on TV, so that 3 years later down the road, because he knows what you're going to look at. He already knows your plan. He wants you to see these things so that when you're introduced to the actual reality of the truth, you're not like, but I heard it like this. Like, no, I saw it like that, and now it makes sense why I saw it like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so fuck Alex Jones, and he probably is Bill Hicks. Little bit of venom.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing with that, right? I
Yeah.
don't take my time with that because does it matter if he's Bill Hicks or Alex Jones? I mean,
No, it doesn't. It doesn't even. No,
he's still the same shill, right? I mean, I'm just saying.
no, without a doubt. That's why, just like you, I don't even look at stuff like that. Like I just said, I didn't even know who this asshole was till a year ago, and apparently he's been talking about truth or quote unquote truth for what 10 years, 15 years.
Longer than that, dude. 20 years, and he was actually the main fear pusher for the whole Y2K thing in 1999.
Really? I didn't know any of that. See, I don't even know who this asshole is, but I could see that. I could see him, the ball dropping. You got to get your guns ready, blah, blah, blah. Like, get the fuck out of here with that stuff. Anyone who subscribes to him, get out of here. Get out of here. Block me. Do whatever you got to do, because that guy is just a joke after looking at him. You just look at him. I get fired up, obviously, but I don't get fired up to the point where I have a red face, where I'm ripping my clothes off, where I'm, shouting into the microphone.
He's put there to make to make quote unquote conspiracy theorists look absolutely crazy. That's what he's there to do.
Yeah, he does a pretty good goddamn job at it.
If you think about it, because when you fall into that trap and you get pushed down that fear road, you don't know. At least for me, I'll speak from my experience. Okay, I can't say you
Mm-hmm.
To everybody all the time. I tend to do that sometimes, but from my experience, I didn't know what a gatekeeper or a shill was at the time when I was introduced to him. So you hear somebody screaming that 9/11's an inside job, you tend to trust them, and so they set you up to fall into that web. And then once you get there, well, he's going to turn around and make all you people look like clowns, but you're still going to hang on to him because he's like the only guy talking loud about it. You keep cutting them breaks type of thing. You still fucking hang on to him. And then eventually there's got to be something that breaks the straw that breaks the camel's back. And for me, it was his agenda against anybody that looked into no planes on 9/11. And, I was heavy into that, right? Really, within a couple months, I knew. And that's such a key. That's like a second awakening point for people, because that's when you realize it's not just the government lying. The media is completely complicit. So there will be no media reporting on the government. It's all going to be fake. That's what the whole thing falls there. And that's what the alternative media is actually there to do. They're actually there to keep the credibility for the mainstream media. They're there to gatekeep for them. So things like controlled opposition, obviously, they're never going to mention in the alternative media. They're also never going to mention media fakery of any kind. They're not going to mention, there's all sorts of shit like that they're not going to mention because they're trying to keep the credibility. That's why people like Fetzer have to come out and tell you that the planes on 9/11 were holograms. This is like, how with the moon landing, they'll tell you the moon landing's real, but once you get to the point of realizing the pictures are fake, they'll try to spin you in that other direction, like aliens won them off. They had to show you fake footage, all that shit.
Yeah. Yeah. They had, like I was telling you, they had that shit on History Channel back in the day. They don't talk about any of that crap now, but
Well, that's the same thing they do with no planes on 9/11. So no planes on 9/11. Once you actually do realize the footage is fake, now they're really worried, okay? Because now you know that the planes are fake. So what are they going to do? They're going to do whatever they can to keep that credibility of the media. What does saying the planes are holograms do? If the planes are holograms, right, the media keeps their credibility because they were on the street filming what they thought were real planes in the sky. Not only that, all those witnesses with all the fake, what turns out to be fake video fake of fake planes. Well, if they were filming holograms and they didn't have to be in it and everything, they keep their credibility as well. But they weren't holograms. They were CGI, and the media is completely complicit. And the fact that they're CGI also proves that this stuff was all filmed ahead of time. It was all it's basically a movie cut up to look like a newscast, high drama movie to look like a newscast, and to change the world. And they
control all the live footage of that, and none of it adds up. No one there's there's not even a video of a plane hitting the what's that, the North Tower that got hit first.
I give you one better. No, there's like 3 or 4 videos of that. They're very rare, but there is one well-known one in the Nade Brothers film. But I'll give you one better than that. Okay, that's a surprise at least, right? Allegedly, the first plane, dude. for an hour and a half before the buildings collapsed after they were hit, and there's street interviews of the Harley guy, right? You got 4 helicopters in the sky, allegedly, right? And you don't have one video in the media capital of the world of anybody leaving the Twin Towers on 9/11. Not one video. And people will say, I've seen tons of video. No, you didn't. You seen video of people in random streets with dust on them. You didn't see anybody coming out of the towers. That'd be the Pulitzer Prize winning shot of all time. Every reporter would fight for it. And you could just keep going. It's like, so you guys all know the Harley guy's an actor. Where does it end? Is Rick Leventhal not an actor? I mean, it just goes on and on and on and on down the line. Then you have to start to think about the psychology of these events. I know everybody says the government don't care. They'll wipe you out. Yeah, but most people that work in there, not the elites, the people that would be required to pull this off, field agents, whatever, right?
Yeah.
You approach them and you say, hey, listen, we're going to do this in New York. It's going to be for the better of the country. We're going to compensate you this, that, and the other thing, right? But, some firefighters, cops, and citizens are going to die. How many people you really think are going to go along with that, dude? And then think about the whistleblowers that would come out. Nobody's going to go along with it, dude. But if you switch that conversation, because these people are so indoctrinated and they're so into their bullshit patriotism, and you tell them it's for the good of the country, we're going to lie to everybody, blah, 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 you're going to be compensated, and we're going to guarantee you that not a single person gets hurt in New York. You're just going to go along with the lie. Where does that 0% go to now?
About 100.
It goes really close to it with government agent type people, right? They're already in FBI, CIA, whatever it is, right? High banking people, that own the companies that would have to be involved. Dude, they're going to go along with that almost no problem. And then if you think about it, if nobody really died and there's no guilt on their conscience, then you don't have to really worry about whistleblowers. You could still have whistleblowers that want to call it some, but why? If nobody really died there and they get compensated all their life, why would they ever blow the whistle on it?
That's exactly what I'm saying. Like you just said, no one runs out of the towers, right? You don't think that like People Magazine, Us Magazine, all these magazines that had literal just magazine specials on 9/11. That should be the cover. Is just from the top looking down, hundreds of thousands of people running out. It's not there.
Yeah,
it's not there.
Yeah, it's not. And also, there's so many. And once you really get into it and you start to look back, it's so obvious what they did. So people talk about Tower 7. Oh, they slipped. They put it on BBC. You know the story. 20 minutes early. Blah blah blah. Well, it wasn't just BBC. It was all over several different networks. A lot of people don't know that. It wasn't a slip. They did that on purpose. The reason they did that on purpose because you're going to get caught in that trap of that argument of. Oh, I see the penguin trolls are here. That's one of the infamous ones.
I just blocked the Infinite Jack.
Yeah, so you get into the argument of, well, 2 planes can't take down 3 buildings. Here's another one. Get rid of that Ravely guy too. So you get into the argument of 2 planes can't take down 3 buildings, and you're reinforcing the planes again. But then on top of that, the story behind Tower 7 is that was a empty building anyways. So there was nobody in it when it went down. Okay, so there's allegedly no deaths in there. So if you keep focusing on Tower 7, which is a great gateway to 9/11 to draw people in, it ends up turning into a gatekeeper because you're never going to even inquire to investigate the legitimacy of victims in the towers, look into death records, look into victim memorial, anything, if you focus most of your time on an empty building, a building that was allegedly empty anyways,
Oh my God, dude! There's so many pictures that you can literally see through the towers. All you see is the goddamn the elevator shaft. That's it.
Those are after construction. People say, "Oh, those are before." No, the fuck they're not. I can tell you when they're from. 72 and 78. Those pictures are from that I've been posting up there for 10 years.
Yeah,
those companies, Cantor Fitzgerald and Marsh McLennan, we got the FOIA on those companies and got the occupancy report. And those people were allegedly on those floors 2 years before those pictures were taken, where you can see straight through. And there's 2 years after those pictures are taken, and you can see straight through. 2 years before. I'm saying it backwards. My bad. You know what I'm saying?
No, you're good. I know exactly.
They were there when the floors weren't completed by 2 years, a good 2 years ahead of time.
And then you have a lot of people. They have some people have picture evidence, and there's a lot of hearsay evidence that if you went into the in an elevator inside the World Trade Center's floors, like 30 through 85, or just it wasn't even on the dial.
No, it's floor 79 through 102 aren't on the elevator panel, which is the exact same floors where the impact zones were because the planes allegedly hit like floor 80, 81. So
Yeah.
it's the same floors that are missing. It's the same exact floors that Cantor Fitzgerald and Marsh McLennan were allegedly on. Just between those two companies, they claimed 1,400 of the people. Well, they're on floors that don't exist. And the other thing too with the people is like, oh, they'll know that, the thing in Connecticut, right? They'll know that that's not real or whatever, right? And it's
Yeah.
like, but can you at least take those eyes and go back and reassess 9/11? You're gonna see all the same shit. It's everywhere.
No, you tell them to do that, and then we're un-American for thinking that. I got a 9/11 video pulled down a couple of weeks ago, and I got hate speech against against America. That was the reason why they took it down. I never even heard of that in my life. Hate speech against my own country. I was like, you gotta be fucking kidding me.
Oh yeah,
It was a video I put up like 3 years ago. So I'm just wondering because I've used that video in live streams before to go back on and replay. So I'm just waiting for those streams to get pulled down.
Oh, they'll go back and get them. I got hit with so many back strikes. I almost lost both of my channels way back in the beginning of doing Mandela videos, and they went back in my 9/11 shows months and months back and just started giving me hate speech and what is the other one? Bullying, harassment, inciting violence. They're all the same thing. They don't tell you where it is in the video. They just pull the video. And dude, you know me. I don't do no hate speech. I don't incite no violence. The people inciting the violence of the media. They're the people. That's the hate speech, dude.
I know hate speech. You turn on CNN, Fox News, NBC. That's all hate speech against humans, not even just Americans, against everyone. All they do is it's just a big fear porn enterprise. That's all they want you to be in fear. They have all these stupid stories. What is up with these new storms they got? What the fuck is a bomba genesis? I never heard of that in my goddamn life.
I never heard of it till you just said it. What the fuck is that?
Dude, I don't know, bro. I've been studying weather for years. I have
Like
notebooks.
these new a lot of people saying there's new different types of clouds that got Mandela in that weren't here before. You know anything about that? Is that you agree with
Oh,
that?
dude, I know way too much about that. They're not Mandela in. No, 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 no. Those were put in specifically so that when you look up and see the sky is looking like Swiss cheese with all the holes in the clouds and they're paper thin.
Yeah.
Now they have names so that you're like, oh, that's just an Acalopal
Oh, right.
Pimbalobus cloud. It's
I get you.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
I hate that stuff, dude. And people think when I was in school, there were 3 clouds, just 3. Now there's 10 or 9. I can't remember, but it's literally tripled. There's triple the amount of clouds now all of a sudden. Give me a break. That's just Operation Solar Shield. That's just geoengineering, chemtrails, NextRad, and then you got all these big power plant factories that just blow steam out into the atmosphere a day or two before there's a big rainstorm. Yesterday,
Yeah. It's not even really like covered up at all. It's just like boom, here it is. Here comes your storm.
right. It's like, oh, we're just gonna, amp this up a little more. It's ridiculous. And people think these Doppler radar centers are here to scan the weather. No. Those Doppler centers, those make the weather, those control the weather. I've thrown up patents up that go back to 1811, Brian. 1811. That's over 200 years ago. And people are just, they still deny it. I'm like, there's patents that literally say process of producing rainfall. Why the fuck would there be a patent for that went back to 1811?
Yeah, exactly.
That I find that ridiculous. And then I present that to people, and they're like, "Oh, it's just science. So just in case something happens, we have a way to keep the world going." Get the fuck out of here with that. That's the lamest thing I ever heard in my life. That stuff, dude, chemtrails. I could go on for about a half a year on chemtrails, geoengineering, whatever people want to call it, because like you just said, there's 10 different types of clouds apparently. And now, when I was a kid, there was 3. You got HARP, NextRad, Doppler. They're all frequency-based cloud producing systems. If you look into the patents, and they say what there's 1 HARP station in the world. That's definitely not accurate.
No, that's definitely not true.
No, that's 100% not true. And they say the one in Alaska is not
many
even.
ones out floating on the ocean. I've seen them.
Yeah. With the Doppler fucking covers on them. Like if you see a radar or whatever you want to call them, and it has a big circular dome over it, that's just a shield to what's actually inside. If you take the ball off of that, it's like this crazy ass looking military weapon that just fires frequencies into the air. That's all it is. They put the ball over it to make it look legit, to make it look like a Tesla machine or something of that effect, to make it look sciency, to make it look cool. But you take it off, and it's literally just a weapon for the weather. They make the weather. That's why they forecast all these things, Brian. And then you look at let's say you got an iPhone or something, right? And you look at the weather. You can go hour by hour. If you look at so let's say it's going to be sunny all day, and then it's predicted, quote unquote, that there's going to be clouds rolling in around 3-4 o'clock when the sun goes down. Goes down 4 or 5 o'clock here now. All all the clouds that come in are 100% fake. I've been proving this for the past couple of weeks. I go to this one spot that's only like 200 feet in the air. First of all, you can see it's almost in Palmer. It's like 20 miles from Springfield. You can see downtown Springfield, no problem. You can see Hartford again, no problem. So that's just a big issue on the perspective level for anyone who thinks we live on a ball still. And then second of all, you can see for miles, and there's chemtrails all the way out to the horizon from left to right. But 9 times out of 10, Brian, 9 times out of 10, if you look behind you where the sun isn't, there's either minimal or no chemtrails. Nothing. It's always in front of the sun. And it has to be because you have people like David Keith, and recently Bill Gates has funded a $20 million solar geoengineering project as well. He wants to put a chemical cloud in front of the sun to simulate the explosions of a volcano to save the Amazon from burning down. How ridiculous does that sound?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Oh my God, dude. Chemtrails, that stuff is ridiculous. Like I said, 2017, you have Solar Shield. 2019, you got the Bill Gates thing that just happened a couple weeks ago. We already went over the factories and plants throwing out the clouds. No planes. Orbs, demons possibly spraying. You wanna elaborate a little bit more on that because you seem like you got a little bit more of insight on the no plane chemtrail thing. And I think that if you don't see a plane and it's spraying something, I think it's something demonic. That's
I
just
do
what I
too.
think.
Oh, I do too, and that makes me wonder if not only is the chemtrail conspiracy to put you in fear and to lead you, because here's the thing: if we are coming into these different times, which we certainly are. I know some people say end times. I don't know what exactly this is. I do feel we're on our journey on the way out of this realm, whatever. These people that run this system, this realm, this earth, whatever, right? I mean, they have a lot of knowledge about the spiritual side that they've been holding from us. I don't think anybody can deny that. And I think that they know that things were going to start presenting themselves a lot come these days. So so maybe the chemtrail, it's to cover demonic things in the sky. Maybe it's demonic things above any government that are putting something out there to hold us down, our consciousness down, and they need to cover it up with something physical. And then it gets the normies to say it's contrails. It gets the truthers to say it's chemtrails and it's here to kill you. And meanwhile, it's not physical at all. It's something demonic. And then I'll take it one step further. Um, and I know people might not like this, but Operation Bluebeam could just be a psyop on all of us. And when I say that, and I'm somebody that's talked about it a lot, talked about the fake alien invasion. I know about the holograms that they use. In fact, I think the moon is a hologram of sorts. I don't know what the source is. So I know that the hologram technology, they could fake an alien invasion. They could fake a second coming of Christ. But what if at the same time, again, they know these things are going to be presenting themselves demons, right? They this whole time have been pushing this alien agenda, not to just for the globe lie, not to just discredit God, but maybe also because they knew demons are going to present themselves. So then the normies will write it off as aliens. Will literally, me and you, not me and you, but a lot of people in these truth communities will see these demons present themselves, and they'll write it off as projections from NASA and Bluebeam and nothing to think about. What do you think about that?
Oh, dude, without a doubt. My only see the Blue Beam got me like you said, it could be used to pull off this fake alien invasion, but yeah, like you're saying, they, obviously they know things are gonna happen. Just look at the Simpsons. Look at the Simpsons. I know it's stupid, but look at the Simpsons. They know shit's gonna happen in 2001 that happened in 2018, whatever it may have been. Whatever that connection may have been. They could see. I don't know if they can literally like see into the future, or they use these crystal balls still to do all that voodoo stuff. or if they're actually just, with CERN or D-Wave computer, they're actually tapping into these other sides. I don't think CERN's causing the Mandela effect. I don't think CERN's colliding any particles. Like you said, CERN is just NASA in Switzerland, but NASA is still doing things, as I have shown plenty of times. NASA has a cloud generating machine that produces rain, no big deal. Just, what I was just talking about, bullcrap. And CERN, they taking credit for the Mandela effect. They're finding the quote unquote God particle, which is just ridiculous, anti God, blasphemy, stupid. But at the same time, they're doing all these things that are making, people like you and me be like, all right, maybe they're doing nothing at CERN. And they're doing all these demonic sigils. They have all these crazy commercials and whatnot. And yeah, I think that they're tapping in that when you collide a particle or whatever they are actually colliding. What if it just opens? They say they open black holes, but what if these black holes, Brian, are just little like glimpses into the other side, and then they're receiving information, and then like you're saying, now they know that a chemtrail is going to be produced by something that ain't there 30 years from now, so we got to get this agenda going, normalize everyone with it. And so when these things do present themselves, we don't even need to have a plane in the sky because no one's going to look up anyways.
Hey, hold on 1 second. I'm just getting a text. I got to return real quick.
No, you're good. You're good. But yeah, I'm 100% with you on that. Blue beam, it could be a 100% psychological operation. It could be, like you said, used in this fake alien invasion, which I think they're going to try to pull that off, because if you look at every movie, not every movie, but probably every 3 movies.
You know what worries me about it? What worries me about the blue beam, really? Besides the reason why, and I've been out here talking about the fake alien invasion of blue beam for a while. I'm on the fence now. I'm a little bit conflicted on what I believe, and that's fine.
No, big. That's good.
It's like the chemtrails here to kill you thing. It just seemed like it was too easy to come across all this information about Project Blue Beam. I mean, even before you realize the Earth is flat, you kind of come into that, don't you?
Yeah, without a doubt. Not for me, but if people, let's say someone woke up last week, they probably look at blue beam and chemtrails before they'd wake up and look at a flat Earth type deal. So yeah, I understand what you're saying there.
We just need to be careful with it, because let's not. We need to be. Here's the thing with the flat Earth. It's like. It's very important. It's very important. We realize this. We realize the deception, and we spread this message. But we also can't get trapped in the physical, and we can't get trapped in their little games. And I could see a little game of, and that's just another way to hide the spiritual side, is with making us try and not believe it's there. I worry about that people will fall for that too easily. That's why, we were talking about it earlier. People, the Facebook groups, and people message me, "Hey, let's go to this NASA chat." It's like, dude, get the fuck out. I'm not even going to do a debate anymore. I did one debate, and it's just like, it's such an embarrassment for those people. I mean, it's like, that they don't have any facts on the side, and it doesn't get me anywhere. I'm more about seeing where this journey is. Look, I already know that the Earth's not a globe, right? I already know a lot of stuff about it. It's been 5 years for me. I mean, I know there's still a lot more to know, but rather than be in the minutiae debates and shit, well, I'm going to expand my mind, talk about Mandela effect, consciousness, what's going to happen to us at the next phase. I want to talk about lucid dreams. I want to talk about how all this ties into flat Earth, I want to talk
100%, because
flat Earth that interests me aren't the debates. Things that interest me is there more land? Stuff like that. That's interesting to me. I'm not interested in talking to globies. They're fucking retarded, dude.
No, without a doubt. And even people that are just like waking up to the whole flat Earth thing, I'm not trying to be an asshole or anything, but let's just break this down to like a school level. Like people like you and me, let's say we're what's a really high level of math? We're in calculus, right? And someone just waking up to the flat Earth and, realizing that, it's not all what it seems. They're like in algebra 1. It's really hard for me to, bring them up to speed. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I leave people like that not in the dirt, but I'll put a link up every now and again they can click on and further their journey. But in my head, I'm like, I can't even start to talk to you because you're over here in algebra 1 and I'm over here dealing with the calculus version of this.
I'll say the same thing to the Mandela people too, because fuck, You know, honestly, that's the craziest thing that's ever happened to me. But there's people that will say, "Oh, our reality's changing," and they'll recognize the changes, and they'll be like, "I want to get out of this matrix," blah blah blah. But they'll refuse to even acknowledge their controllers and the people that are lying to them about God, aka NASA and the
Yeah.
system and all this, and science fiction, and they'll still buy into that. I mean, there's a lot of people that and I don't blame them. I was a huge Star Wars guy, and
Oh, me too, man. I still am. I don't give a fuck.
yeah, but they target us. Like if you look at the Chris Hadfield footage, I mean, there's so much of it. But if you look at some of his shit up on the ISS, I mean, there's a part, and you know how with the disinfo at NASA, they'll put the like the Star Trek logo on Mars and all this shit, right?
Yeah,
And you had
yeah.
somebody wearing a Star Trek Federation uniform on the ISS. They had William Shatner call Chris Hadfield on the phone. That's like ultimate geek out for Star Trek fans to latch onto NASA as real. You see what I'm saying? They know
Oh,
what they
without a doubt, they make those people. It's so easy for someone from a sci-fi community to or a background just to walk into NASA, be indoctrinated, get their T-shirt on, want to go work for them. Present it so easily, and I couldn't subject myself to that, but there's I don't know, probably about 9 out of 10 of people in the world today that are, their dream job is to work for NASA, is to go into outer space, and they just paint this picture that is so bullshit, but they make it look so good. In the beginning, obviously, people like you and me, we're not gonna go sign up for NASA. If anything, I'm gonna go blow up a fucking engine. If anything, like fuck
yeah.
NASA, fuck them all. Never a straight answer.
Yeah, it's just sad that people. I don't get it that people that say that for they're truthers and they won't fucking look into flat Earth or people will trust NASA that say they don't trust the government, dude. The NASA it's the military, dude. I mean, it's part of the Department of Defense. This is military. They just don't have guns. I mean, come on, dude.
Right. No, without a doubt. They have weapons. It's weapons of psychological deceiving, If you get the famous quote, it's easier to fool a nation than to convince it it's been fooled. So if you're just gonna fool them, they're gonna think that's fact, just like with evolution. Let's go off on evolution real quick. Fuck evolution, fuck Darwin, by
Yeah.
the way, in case anyone's, on that fucking side of life.
Darwin.
It's all just one big anti-God agenda. Because if
Hey,
evolution's real,
keep running. I gotta run outside for 1 second and grab my trees. All right.
yep, keep going. Yep, you're good. So for anyone who, if you think evolution's real, then you think Big Bang is real. If you think Big Bang is real, you think planets are real, solar systems are real, you think NASA's real. It's all just one anti-God agenda. It's to keep us in the dark. It's to make us not think we're special. It's to if you look at my logo right now, this is what it is. We are here and everything is going around us out there. It's heliocentric. Okay, they think this is a heliocentric universe or galaxy, whatever you want to call it. The sun is in the middle and we go around it. Well, Helios, the god Helios, that goes back to Apollo. And what's so funny about the word Apollo? Apollo. You have the Apollo space missions. If you go into the Bible, book of Revelations 9:11, the Antichrist, Apollo, Apollyon,
Yep.
Abaddon,
Yep.
Helios, Lucifer, they're all the same. Osiris, Nimrod, they're all the same person. It all breaks back down to the anti-God agenda. Excuse me, but they cannot have they can't live without the evolution theory, because if you think you came from an explosion that started from nothing, that turned into a planet, that turned into water, that turned into a speck of dust, that turned into a fish, to a slug, to a snail, to a turtle, to a monkey, to us, that's just denying God. That's denying your reality. And that's just like with the Mandela effect. If you deny the Mandela effect, you are denying your own reality. And I can't live with that. People that deny that, I just say, are you fucking kidding me? Everyone knows Ed McMahon worked for Publishers Clearinghouse. Everyone knows 4 people were in the car at JFK, because now the conspiracy theory doesn't even make sense. But you and me both know that JFK most likely wasn't in that car. If you look at Jimmy Carter's presidency, it looks like they brought JFK back in for the last year or 2 of his term, because his hair was parted a different way. He had a stronger Boston accent, and it's just one big joke. It's just all one big joke. It's ridiculous. And it's all just to keep us away from God, keep us in the dark, keep our conscience at a level where they can control it. And they want our souls at the end of the day. Whether they can get it through media, whether they get it through NASA, whether they keep it here through chemtrails, whether you upload your consciousness to a fucking robot, which is transhumanism, which is big, which is prophesized as well also. And either way, whichever way you look at it, they need to get you. They're not going to get me. They're not going to get you. They're not going to get anyone in the chat because we're aware. We know what's going on. But, for the 98% of the world that has no idea what's going on, that falls right into their plans, they're gonna they're gonna blindly walk into, I don't know if it's extinction. I don't know, like you said, the end of times is kind of a big word to put on all this, but if it is the end of times, it's not the end of our time. It's the end of our time here on this earth in the physical, because like you said, we are conscious beings, we are spiritual beings. We need to understand that we're not going to be here forever. We can't be afraid of death because death is just going to bring us to another level of understanding. This is all just one test and experiment, I believe. Can you agree with that at all? Oh, we lose Brian. It looks like we lost Brian. I'm just gonna jump in the chat real quick. See
Sorry, I was muted. No, I
Oh, you're muted.
yeah, I believe this is a like a test. I actually believe it's like a God created this, and it's like a choose your own adventure book. And those of us who are aware, we make conscious decisions at different points in our lives that send us off in different points in the chapter or whatever throughout the book. But those people that are just totally asleep, or some people say they're NPCs, whatever, all those other people, for the most part, they just go through the maze the way they're supposed to go. They don't have any deviation from it. And until they start to have that deviation and something sparks inside them where they're making conscious decisions, making a difference, I don't think that they're getting out. I don't think they're going to be damned to any type of hell scenario like people say. I just think that they're going to, maybe that's what reincarnation is. You're not ready to get past this. And I don't know if reincarnation is a thing. I'm just saying, if they're not ready to pass the test, but their physical body dies, well, I think they probably have to come do the test again.
No, yeah, I could see it that way. What is going on? I'm getting a little feedback. You still getting that or no? It sounds better now. I just had, I don't know, it wasn't working for a second, but no, yeah, 100% on that. I don't know if reincarnation is real, but that sounds very plausible, because the whole people being trapped here for life, being damned, I can't really be on board with all of that because, I think everyone deserves a second chance, so let's say it is like that, and we're all, let's say, it all happens, we go down and we got to, we're facing judgment of God. I don't think, God has it in his heart to just smite someone down to hell because they were deceived their whole life. That just doesn't seem fair to me. So maybe
I totally agree with you.
Right, because this is all a thing of free will, free choice. It all goes back to Adam and Eve. They chose to be aware of what's going on. They brought us to where we are today. It's not a bad thing. Clearly it's not that good of a thing, but it's not a bad thing. We all need free will because it gives us the choice, the opportunity to make the right choices, to do the right things, to do what we believe. But like you said, you have all these people who could be NPCs or whatever. I don't think they're quite NPCs. They're just people that have just never been introduced to the idea of free will. They just do what they're told. They go, head down. They're at their cubicle every day, 9 to 5. They love it, and it's not their fault they're this way. But at what point are they gonna be like, I don't think they're gonna get to a point where they're gonna be like, oh man, maybe I haven't been living right this whole life, unless there's someone like you and me shouting in their face every day, because that would wake me up if some asshole was telling me about this every day of my life, and one day I would look into it. But there's a lot of people that just don't understand that there's free will, there's right and there's wrong, there's yes and there's no. They just know that there's a path that is put down in front of them from kindergarten. They go kindergarten to, to eighth grade to high school to college to career. And that's it. That's all they know. They don't know anything else from that. And then I find it kind of sad, honestly, that people don't understand that you have the ability to make these choices. You have the ability to break free of this system. You have the ability to understand that everything you were ever taught was a lie. But people just they don't even know this whole world exists because they're in the maze so far that you can't even break them out.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
ridiculous.
Well said. I couldn't even say it better, bro.
Thank you. But I gotta take a quick bathroom break. You want to just sit in the chat for a minute? I'll be like 2 seconds.
I would actually love to go on my porch for 3 minutes and smoke. So you want to take your bathroom break, then come back, and maybe address the chat till I come inside?
Yeah, we can do that. I'll be that sounds good. I'll be back
I'll be
in.
5 minutes, so you'll be back before me. So just give people a shout out, and I'll be right in. Okay.
All right, sounds good, guys. I'll be right back, and let's try to make this music work this time. Is this not working? No, it's not working. So just hold tight. We'll be back in 1 minute. Sorry, guys. All right, sorry about that, guys. I'm back, and let's just go through the chat real quick. What is up, Colin Rose? Bit of Venom. What's up, Doc Mike? What's going on? Pia. I don't know if I'm saying that right. What's up, Karen B? What's going on? You're the best. Carla, you're the best too. You're all the best. We are the best. Every single one of us is the best person we could be, I hope. I try to be. I'm not a Christian. I almost just said I'm not a Christian. I am a Christian. I'm not the best Christian. We all, we all struggle with the right and the wrongs. Like I said, we have free will. So it is what it is. David Wolf, what is up? Northern Minnesota Sasquatch, what is going on, brother? We got Mandela Mike in the house. What is up? Tommy, tell the truth. What's going on? MK Chronics. What's going on? I can't read. I'm like dyslexic and half retarded. If you guys don't know, but is what it is. Ryan Staveley's in the chat. Nah, I'm talking to him right now. What else we got? Dominic Frost, the Frosty. What is up, brother? Mark Rogers, what's going on? Oh, there are so many of you guys in here. This is awesome. We got 90 people in the chat. Don't forget to thumb it up, share it, subscribe it, bell. It is what it is. Who we got? No, I'd not just see Glowbusters in the chat. Here we go. What's going on, brother? What's up, Bob? You guys are really the best. I've been listening to Glowbusters since their first freaking show. Those were the best. I'm telling you. I love your shows now, Bob, but the original ones were freaking the best, dude. I used to just sit there for hours at work. Oh man. I know we got 94 people in the chat. That's sick. I've never had more than 12. So this is pretty sick. We got Steve Marzelli. What is up? Bernie McIntyre. Am I saying that right? What is up? The Nikayas. I don't know if I'm saying that right. What is up? I am dyslexic. Let's remember that. Who we got? Good vibes and good flower 420. What is up? 420. Haha. What is going on, everyone? Laurel Chambers. What is going on? Natalie Rand. I can't say that. What is going on? Dominic. I already said Dominic. The Frosty. What's up? Let me just read this real quick. It's easier for me to read when they're not moving. So I see. I'm curious about which Mandela effects are noticed by younger people. I'm 52, so yeah. I'm not too sure what are noticed a lot by my group of people, but
I'm back.
what's going on, bro? We're just talking about Mandela effects that would resonate with younger people. Seeing as I'm 24 years old, it is what it is. I'd say like the Disney ones and stupid ones like that. Mirror, mirror, magic mirror.
Pikachu. Pikachu. That's a
Oh
big
my God, dude. Yeah, I get these kids at work. All the people I work with are like 19, 20 years old. And I'm like, you guys remember it this way? And they're like, no. I'm just like, well, look at this. And one or two of them are really receptive to this. Actually, my boss, she knows about the Mandela effect. She thinks it's a parallel universe crap. And, that's all disinfo, I believe. But, you can believe what you want to believe. It's whatever. So, um,
Yeah, you
yeah.
got almost 100 people here. I told you I'd bring a bunch of people. So now when you do your live streams, I mean, hopefully you'll have at least like 30, 40 people there. I'm sure they'll come back because you're good, man. People just need to hear you, bro.
I appreciate it. And everyone in the chat, I just gave them all a shout out. Thanks everyone. I've never had more than like 12 people in the chat. So this is kind of big. Never been able to scroll more than 6 comments. So this is legit. Like I told you, this is gonna be a good ass show. We're only 2 hours deep, man. So we can keep this going for as long as you want. I ain't got shit to do. Like I'm off Monday, so sleep ain't really on my agenda. But yeah, like you said, Pikachu. What other good ones you think for kids my age that I can spiel onto them? Because if I mention Black Tom to them, they're gonna just look at me with a blank face.
People your age?
Yeah, like we just
I
said,
don't,
like
I don't know. I mean, maybe go with some of the music ones. I mean, I don't know. Shit, I don't know because I'm like 20 years older than you, so I don't really it's with you guys so much. But I mean, shit, I mean, you just came out of high school, like not right out of high school, but you were talking about the stories, several. You started high school 10 years ago, and this and that. So I
yeah,
would
yeah, yeah.
go with geography because you guys were just looking at maps in school not too long ago.
Oh my God, Italy, bro. Italy is big for me because Italy's fucking sideways now, and I don't know if there's a lot of residue for Italy being the way it used to be, but there's this restaurant in Westfield that I drive by every now and again, and the map of Italy is on there just as I remember it, and I'm gonna get a picture of it next time I drive by it because I go to this other little diner on Mondays just past it to get get out of my restaurant, get some other breakfast and shit. So I'm gonna get a picture of that tomorrow, and I'm gonna show everyone what Italy used to be and what it is now. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe for the people your age, I'd go with stuff that would still be fresh in their mind, obviously. So I would think some of the geography stuff would probably be a good approach. Pop culture is always a good approach for some younger people. I mean, you must know some Star Wars fans or whatever, right?
Oh yeah, all the people. I don't really hang out with a lot of people anymore because once I started, going all in on this, everyone,
Yeah,
you know
you
what
don't
it
have
is.
any
Well,
friends. You don't
everyone
have
just
any friends.
blacklists you,
We
and
know
when
you
you
don't have any friends anymore in real life.
right, it's fucked up. No, I got like honestly, there's probably like 2 or 3 people that I hang out with, and they all know what this is. So it's not like I gotta unplug when I talk to them. But once you start talking, quote unquote crazy, people just blacklist you.
Yeah,
It's
I know.
ridiculous.
I know, and it's crazy, bro. We go through it every day. That's the hardest. Not even so much like going through realizing the deception, even with the flat Earth and man, some of the hardest stuff we go through, even being lied to about 9/11 everything, right? Some of the hardest stuff to go through though is like having to deal with the social situations, having to dumb down conversations for people and try to do it in a polite way. You know, it's really hard to do, man. And I find myself avoiding conversation with these types of people more often than trying to engage it and alter the way I speak. That's why I just try and stay out of social scenes as much as possible. Now I work in a bar/restaurant, so it's like there's TVs everywhere. People are trying to get me to look up at the screen and look at dumb shit, and it's just like, it's hard. That's hard for me.
Oh no, I'm right with you. At my restaurant, it's an open kitchen and there's one big TV. And like I said, my boss is like addicted to the news, so that's on about 24/7. And every time I look up, oh, did you see this? Did you see? No, I didn't see this. No, I didn't see that. You think I believe any of that crap? Get out of here. I'm not going to say that to these people because I'm not going to lose business because of it. So I
Yeah.
just keep my mouth shut, just nod. It is what it is. But there's a couple of old timers that come in and yeah, fucking I've ran some stuff by them. Like I was telling you on Facebook the other day, there's a 73-year-old guy tried to present Mandela effect to with JFK on the it was the anniversary 2 days ago. So I was like, hey, what do you remember? He's like, oh, there was the governor, the driver, the wife, and JFK. And I was like, perfect. That's what you remember, right? He's like, yep, that's it. So I showed him a picture. He looks at me dead in the face. Oh, but there's only 4 people that matter. That's what I remember. I was like, bro, you just changed your whole story in front of me. If that's not taking an update, I don't know what is. Like, holy shit. That's why I stay out of this stuff. I can't deal with the update people. Like, I'm going to tell you 100% facts, and you're going to look at me and just tell me I'm wrong. And you're going to get all upset about it, start crying, and then I'm an asshole. So,
yeah, and the thing if people aren't getting it, it's like not like because the way you just said it, maybe they don't get it. Like you said, I'm telling you 100% facts, and then you're not agreeing with it. Well, the thing is, they already did agree to it, and then they backtrack, and once you show them that it's another way.
Exactly. Like you said, I always try to lead them on.
That's how you know everybody's affected, dude. I say this all the time. Everybody's affected. We only have deniers, not unaffected people.
Dude, I know they deny reality. That's the crazy part. It's not like you're denying conspiracy. You're denying your own reality.
It's just like with the globe lie. I mean, you go outside, you don't see no curve, you never smell the spin, but you'll go against everything inside of you, everything you ever experienced because other people told you to, and now you're gonna go against your own reality and your memory for the same reasons. Basically, it's the same shit. You're going against your own senses and your own intuition because you're told that this can't be by mainstream, by science. You're told you're misremembering by all these mockery articles. It's the same. It's the same psychological operation by the same. You know what I mean? It's the same thing.
No, you're 100% right. These people, they say they work for NASA or they work for whatever agency it might be to keep us in the dark. In reality, whether they know it or not, they're working for Satan. They're working for the devil. A lot of them have made, you hear it in music and TV shows all the time, like, oh, I made a deal with the devil. Like, yeah, motherfucker, these people actually make deals with the devil. They have their soul. Like, look at Jordy Rose. He came out on a TED Talk or some shit the other day. This dude looked like he aged 40 years. You know what happens when you fuck with demons? They take your soul out. He's life. There's nothing inside that guy. Like, if there's such thing as an NPC, there's one for you right there. That's it.
Yeah.
Like, that was ridiculous. The dude, he literally had, like, wrinkles on his face. He looked like he was 80 years old. And there's a video of him last year, looking all fruitful, healthy, talking about he's going to talk to demons. And now he's talking to them and he's fucked.
Yeah.
Like, oh shit, that shit really fucks with me, man, because like I said, I've been affected by demons and what I encountered at that tunnel, I don't think was just a demon. I think that thing has been there for hundreds, if not thousands of years, Brian, because you got the the Mohawk Indians that used to live in that area, because it's called the Mohawk Trail. They call that whole mountain range the Hoosick Mountain Range, and Hoosick, or however you want to say it, back in Mohawk Indian, that translates to forbidden or forsaken. So they never even lived there. So they knew there was something bad there. And how long have the Mohawk Indians actually been there? For thousands of years. So this is telling me this is something that's been here, that knows humans, that's seen everything. And I've been affected by this so bad. Like I told you, my TV fucking growled at me. I've had dreams where this shit has come in and presented itself to me in the physical. I don't even know what I saw. It was like the Cthulhu or some fucking shit. You know, it's that stuff is real scary, and people don't understand. Like I said, you know, you have these shows on TV that get you so hyped to go look at these ghosts and stuff. You're like, oh, that's gotta be a cool experience. Yeah, it's an experience. I don't know about cool, but if you want to go get marked and tormented the rest of your life, by all
Yeah.
means, go
Yeah.
fuck with it. Like, ah, dude, that's just sad. Like, I can't. It's sad that I fell for that shit too. Looking back at it, you know, I got, you know, you get marked by something that has three claws. You know, you fucking with some dumb shit, and then I go back for more, like a dumbass. Then you know, now I am where I am today. So I'm in a way, I'm kind of thankful that I did that because after that all happened, that brought me to a church and I started praying and shit started happening in that church, bro. There was no one in that church. I hear people sitting down, there's talking behind me, and it's getting closer and closer, and there's hairs on my arms standing up. And that made me further understand that Catholic churches are pagan. They represent the worship of not fucking Jesus, I'll tell you that, because why would I feel that sort of presence in a church? You know what I'm saying? After dealing with that same presence in a pit of hell, basically. It's ridiculous. And if you look up the Hoosac Tunnel, part of it is literally called the Bloody Pit because when it got, when they were working on it back in the 1850s and 60s, the entire the middle chamber, right where they connected it, because people started on this side of the mountain, the other people started on this side. When they finally met, it caved in and killed 200 people out of nowhere. So if all that residual energy gives you that kind of feeling, and then I go to a Catholic church that gives me the same feeling, it's all the same stuff, bro. Religion is just another way to get you trapped, your soul trapped, because you're worshiping stuff that's not even remotely close to Christianity. Like, yeah, Christmas coming up. Christmas isn't the birth of Christ, I don't think. The more and more I look at it, it sounds really crazy, Brian, but the birth of Jesus could possibly be 9/11. That
Yeah.
I'm not saying it is. I'm not saying it isn't. It's possible.
Yeah.
Because why else would you want to relate so much fear around one certain day when that day is supposedly the you know the birth of Christ? But they're just completely ruining that with 9/11. And then what else happened on 9/11? 1992, 9/11. George Bush Sr. gives his New World Order addressment.
Yeah.
So it's all just stuff around there like that.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
It is.
But what were we talking about a second ago? You wanna go in on the you wanna go back on flat Earth real quick, because like I said, I got flat Earth notes out the ass. I had a video a couple of years ago. It was fucking Dubay does this video with 200 proofs. Who has time to go over 200 proofs? I've sent that to many globies, and they're like, yeah, I'm not watching that 4-hour video on proofs that the Earth isn't a globe.
Yeah.
It's too much for them to break
I
down.
was thinking, I hope somebody we know can just put out 201 so people stop plugging his 200 fucking video.
Well, all of them are really, really redundant. So I made a video called 15 Proofs the Earth is Flat and Motionless. And in only one of them, I used a distance type of deal, because half of his things are like, I shouldn't be able to see the top of this mountain from here, or you see too far from this area. Like, there's literally like 30 or 40 of them that are just like, you're seeing from mountain to mountain hundreds of miles away, which, I'm not saying is a bad proof, but you got to stop beating that horse.
Yeah.
So I just brought it all on the one, and I brought it really local for Americans. There's a you probably heard of it, Washington's Rock in New Jersey at the state park there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can literally look 1 mile, or 1 mile. You can look one way, and it's like 30 or 40 miles. You see the entire Manhattan skyline, and you do a 360, and it's even further away. I think it's 50 to 60 miles. You can see the Philadelphia skyline. So
Yeah.
that takes 30 of his proofs right out the window, because you don't need all these. You just need one solid proof that people can relate to. And for people that are no one's ever been to half of these mountain ranges that he talks about, so I just thought that whole part of that was ridiculous. So I took it upon myself to take his 200, sum it up into 15, and shit, that got almost 70,000 views. So it doesn't take 200 proofs to to make your point. Just make it short and sweet, and it's going to be more understandable, more digestible, and you can share it a lot more. You can reach a lot more people quicker too if they're not sitting 4 hours to understand something. If it just takes them 6 minutes on a 15 proof video, they're in, they're
Yeah,
out.
I actually, I mean, I don't have a problem with the video. I think it's a good video, and but I know what you're saying, and you do need, everybody has their own style, and you need all different things. But the fact that the video was good, brought in people, and then the dude acted like a complete douchebag for the last few years, that's what I have a problem with.
Oh my god, yeah, like
I don't
I don't
have
know
a
what the hell
problem
he
with
was
the video. I think
thinking.
it's a good video. I know it's going to be long and monotonous for new people, but I actually think it was a great video. I'll give him credit for it. But I think he's guy's a douchebag, and hopefully not anything worse than that. But he's at the very least an asshole.
Yeah, I surely hope he's not running like a like an Alex Jones type deal in the shadows, because that would just take all credit away from Flat Earth, 100%.
No, it won't. No, it won't. It'll take credit away from him, and people need to just stop. Because I get it. People say to me that a troll, you just believe the Earth's flat because of Eric Dubay. Dude, I knew the Earth's flat before I knew who the fuck Eric Dubay was, and I don't even like the guy. What the fuck are you talking about?
No shit, bro. I'm right with you. Like, I was watching Flat Earth videos that you can't even find anymore on YouTube. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I've been looking for this one, like, good, like, honestly, like 80% of this video was truth, but then they had like 20% of it that was just completely false, and it was like a short documentary from like probably the early 90s, late 80s, have these two scientists on, and that caught my attention. They had the what was it? I got it written down over here. The Bedford level experiment. They were
Yeah.
really going hard on that one, and that's what brought me into it. If
Yeah.
you could,
Well,
if
it's so
you're
simple. Now that's something simple you can understand when that experiment is laid out. It's like, oh, that's really easy to understand.
right, and you just take a telescope and boom, there it is. It didn't go over the curve. It's right there. There is no curvature. And
It's
another thing
really
about
flat Earth can get complicated, and there's a lot we need to understand. Like a lot of the stuff that Bob will get into breaking down. That's the more the deeper stuff for a lot of us, right? But as far as understanding that the Earth isn't a ball, I mean, it's really simple. You just honestly, you've just never thought about it. You've never thought to question those things because why would you? But once you question, and you're like, dude, I mean, how does an airplane fly and land on a spinning ball? Why aren't the flight times fucking drastically different? Oh, why can't I just hover a helicopter and have my destination come to me? Why, how does level water stick around a ball? All this shit. How does gravity so selective? Like, how come there's no curve, but I'm told there is one? How come I never felt the earth spin? And then you think, man, I never was even told how fast the earth spins. And it's like, that's why you've never questioned these things.
right, without a doubt. And then like you got science over here. They with all their globe stuff, all of it breaks down to not 666, but pretty damn close, because you got where the hell is it over here? Please hold. Got a fucking book to go through over here. Well, the tilt, that the Earth's tilt is what, 23.4 degrees.
Yeah.
Take 90 minus 23.4. What are
Yeah.
you left with?
They got
Exactly.
that 6 everywhere. It's everywhere in their map. And
Yeah.
their map's completely fabricated, so they put that in there,
Yeah. Oh, it has to be like that. That's the only way it works, is with the demonic science math behind it. It's ridiculous, and people eat that up like it's bread and butter, man.
Yeah, and here's
And
the
then they
thing. There's a lot of shit we can't explain with flat Earth. Anybody that says we can definitely explain this, we can definitely explain everything in the sky. No, you're full of shit. We all have good ideas, and we all might have reasons of why we believe, and some people might be better than others. Hold on, let's get this Ben guy out of here. Known troll. Somebody ban that Ben guy, the guy that's using Russian vids name, please. That guy's
got it right here.
Yeah. So these people, you know what the thing is with NASA and the space agencies and stuff. So Globies will come with the argument, the craziest stuff, when we can, like the Chicago argument and, the lights bending around the ball, Mirage, all this shit. Right. But it's like, they'll just make up shit. And if we don't know something, we'll say we don't know, and they'll just make up some shit that makes absolutely no fucking sense just to support the lie. And it's like, wow, man, it's so fucked up. It's so fucked up the shit people believe. Like, it's crazy, dude. I don't know. I lost my track where I was going because I was looking at a troll in the chat.
No, you're good. You're good. It was that the Ben guy, right? I threw him out.
Yeah, get him out of here.
Yeah.
Those are all penguin trolls coming.
Yeah, I don't even know what the hell that means. But the concave is ridiculous. I'm not going to get into all that, but with the whole concave thing, it doesn't make sense. There's no curve going in. There's no curve going out. There's no curve at all. But if you do look at all of these like older maps of the North Pole,
Yeah.
there's something there that they're hiding.
Oh yeah.
And I tend to believe that there's possibly a hole up there because you got people like I'm not saying it's concave. I'm just saying this is a flat Earth with depth.
Yeah.
That's not. I wouldn't say hollow on the inside, but I think there's chambers inside the Earth, like they talk about. You have CERN. CERN's located supposedly in the land where Apollo, Satan, Lucifer, Apollyon, all these, whatever you want to call it, that's where his chamber is supposedly. I'm not saying it is there. I'm not saying it's not there. Allegedly, it is there, but there are known, passages that go deep, deep into the earth. Like you have Shambhala in the Tibet mountains.
Yep.
You got like I was just talking about the Arctic. You have all these maps that are showing, there's 4 islands that surround this pillar or whatever it might be, a water source or some that goes in, waterfall. I don't quite know what it is because we don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Antarctica, there's been supposedly there's U.S. military said there was holes down there or something like that. I'm not saying it's 100% true because anything let out by the U.S. military is probably false anyways. But the fact that they even put a story down there like that, reports of holes in the ice, not even just the military, even just independent explorers that obviously you're not allowed to explore Antarctica on the inside, but you can sure as hell go you can walk the outside of it. You just can't go in, you can't go deep anymore after Admiral Byrd and all that shit went down. You can't go anywhere like that. But you also have in Peru in the mountains there, Machu Picchu,
Mhm.
there's also hidden chamber, or I don't even call them chambers, but caverns that you really can't even get to without like the Peruvian government's permission. And
Yeah.
they're all, and the only thing that puts all of this together, sounds fucked up, but Hitler puts it all together. He's been to all these places. He was trying to contact beings that were there before, that have contacted him or contacted the Vril Society. I don't know how much you know about them.
No.
And yeah, they're just ancient summoning, whatever. And they went looking for these beings, and I believe they found them. And I believe that the Nazi regime is obviously the Nazi regime came over to America. It is the NASA, the space organization, and now it's infiltrated the military, and we are becoming the new Nazi regime at today. But originally, I think they retreated to Antarctica because I think that's where all all of their stuff led to.
Mhm.
Because I think it was 40 submarines were never found, never accounted for. They're just gone. After they won the war, they went to, siege all the beaches and, shut down all their crap. There's 40 submarines and a couple of ships that were just, they're not anywhere.
Yeah.
And I think that they possibly went down to Antarctica because, there could be a hole down there, or it could be some sort of portal or something. And you got Admiral Byrd down there. He's a Freemason as well, so you gotta take what you can get
Yeah.
from.
My thing right off though with Admiral Byrd is I don't trust him because he was already a very high ranking admiral. Obviously, he was an admiral, very
Yeah,
high ranking military guy. And when he went on with that, what is the Longines Chronoscope, whatever the fuck that show is called, when he
yeah.
went on there, I mean, a lot of people see like a 5 minute clip, but that's like a 45-minute video. And if he was really spewing the stuff they didn't want him to say, they would have yanked him right off that stage.
Oh, without a doubt. Without a doubt. I'm 100%. That's why I'm saying you can't really trust what he's saying. Just we have that, and then you also have the fact that he was a 33rd degree Freemason. So it is what it is. And why they wouldn't want to send anyone who wasn't a 33-degree Mason down there anyways if these missions were actually true, because a 33rd degree Freemason would probably know what to do if he encountered an 11-foot tall being that hasn't been seen in thousands of years. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what they worship. That's what their religion's behind. It's around all that.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you heard of this lately, but there's I don't know if it's Science Magazine or something's come out in the mainstream saying that there's volcanic pits opening with magma underneath the ice of Antarctica.
No, I haven't
You
heard
ever
that.
heard anything about that?
Was that, is that like today's newest? Or is this
That was a couple weeks ago, actually, or probably about a week and a half ago. So some people are talking about that, and that just leads me to believe that the whole the fallen angel type deal. The Book of Enoch talks about these things they're trapped here on Earth. They're not trapped in a different realm. They are here. I think that God, he put them in Antarctica to protect us from them. And now, if this is true, I'm not saying it's true. If there are, magma pits under there melting the ice, the time of them becoming free is coming sooner and sooner and sooner.
Yeah.
And you got 2020 right around the corner. And I'm not trying to promote any fear porn, but something could happen. And not disclosure. Not it's not going to be like a demonic disclosure. If these things do present themselves in our realm as what they were when they fell, they're going to have to pull them off as aliens, and that's when Blue Beam could come into effect. But like you said, Blue Beam could just be a psyop from the beginning. But what better way to fool the public than just throw a projection in the sky of a bunch of spaceships coming down and, having these ridiculous looking beings just pop out of, a portal hole looking like they're coming out of the ship. But in reality, they're not there.
Yeah.
It's just the demons. There's no aliens.
No.
Yeah, the whole alien deception, that goes back really far. You have people like Aleister Crowley who were occult scientists and stuff. And, if you look into their works, they weren't contacting aliens. They weren't contacting stuff from different galaxies. They were contacting stuff from different dimensions within this world. This man, he drew what he said, what people think is a gray alien. He drew that when he conjured, what was it? Project Rising Babylon. People should look that up. And you got him, Lovecraft, and the Jet Propulsions guy. I can't remember his name right now.
Jack Parsons.
Yeah. They were all in a ritual, and Aleister Crowley anointed himself as the Antichrist in that, and something presented itself. He drew it afterwards because he was a well-known artist back in the day too. And people write it off as they talk to aliens, but if you look at it even further, it's just a demon. It's whatever people think is a gray alien.
Yep.
Look on the back of your dollar bill, you put it up to the light, there's a fucking gray alien type deal on the back of it, but we all know they're not aliens. They're demons. They're fallen angels. They're entities of the dark. And people got to wake up to that, I think, more than anything before they present themselves and they think it's just Alien versus Predator or, whatever. You have all these alien movies coming out, Independence Day, shit like that are just, getting us ready, I feel, in a way. They want to normalize these aliens before, people can understand the fact that they're not aliens. But if people already are expecting aliens and things show up as aliens, they're just going to, they're going to be more receptive to it. They're going to be like, oh, look, well, I saw this in this movie this one time, so it's got to be that. Like, no, it's not even close to that. It's ridiculous.
Yep. It is.
Yeah, that part gets me going really, really hard. And like you said before, everything comes full circle in this because you look at the alien, the anti or the alien deception agenda. That brings you back to NASA, which brings you to flat Earth, which will bring you to chemtrails, which will give you a conscious awakening, which will bring you to Mandela effect, to fake sun, to this, that. It's all one circle.
Yeah,
it's not a conspiracy.
That's why I can never just stay on one. If I just stayed on one thing, you guys, I would never been talking about Mandela effect or flat Earth. I'd still be talking about 9/11 every day.
Right.
Yeah, I still bring it up, and when I bring it up, I lay it out thick on people. But it's not going to talk about 9/11 every day. I mean, I'm moving through a progression. I know everybody else is at different phases, but that's just how it is, man. I'm going to keep moving forward.
I'm right with you. I don't even think I could have a 2 hour and 40-minute conversation with someone on one topic,
No.
It's gotta branch out. And people that do that, I'm not, I listen to a lot of your 9/11 shows. They go along, but you do a good job at just keeping the points going and going and different points. Some people they'll have a 3-hour show and they talk about two things the whole time. It's like, great, I could have watched a 6-minute video and gotten more information out of this shit.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
it's everyone just sounds so redundant after that. It's ridiculous.
Yep.
It's so ridiculous. People they just write it off as they just write it off as bullshit. And you got, like I said, we were talking about before, the Mandela effect. Like you got hold on one sec, my phone's just acting up. I had some notes I was gonna bring up. No, it wants me to do a software update. That ain't happening. Here we go. Yeah, like shit you can lay easy on people. Like you know all this stuff. Wizard of Oz, Fly My Pretties Fly. Like
Yeah.
who doesn't know that? Who
Every,
doesn't know that?
yeah.
When the
Everybody.
fuck that movie came out? When 19 whatever?
It's 1939, I think.
And wasn't that supposedly like the first colored film?
I think it came out in black and white and then got colorized, but I'm not even sure anymore with this fucking Mandela effect recolorizing and going back farther and farther. At this point, I'm so confused on something.
Yeah, bro. Like, well, they supposedly had colored movies when, in like 1870 or something.
1890s is a color cartoon, and then color TV going back to 1930 now. And the first Major League Baseball game broadcasting color is now 1948, bro. That 21 years before the moon landing, they were putting baseball in color, and they were allowed to put the moon landing in black and white 21 years later. No, right?
We all have an issue with that because we would have ran into that. We would have ran into that when we were looking at NASA fakery, 5, 6, 7 years ago.
Yeah.
Like that's just ridiculous. And
like we would have ran into the man buried on the moon story, the man's ashes on the moon. I mean, look at all the memes we've made. Look at all the memes flat earthers make about the stupid NASA shit. I know it's a fake story, but they have a fucking car. We talk about it. All these other space cookies, we talk about it. So there's allegedly a man, Eugene Shoemaker, his ashes have been on the moon for 19 going on 20 years now. I've never heard of that, as fake as it is. Now, Flat Earth makes parody songs, right? So where's the parody song? Can you believe they buried a man on the moon? There would literally be that song. Never mind thousands of memes.
No, you're right. I never heard of that one though. That's new to me. Like, when did they launch this fucking rocket up to the moon to
20 years
whatever?
ago. 20 years ago, like 19 whatever it is, 20 years ago from now. 99.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous, man. I didn't even hear about that. That's effed up. We would have ran into that fucking years ago, dude. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Holy crap. You just blew my mind away with that.
Yeah.
Then you got just other little things that change, that logo changes and name changes, brand changes. I don't know if something I ran into the other day. I don't know if it's a Mandela effect or not. I just can't remember. You ever use those the arm sleeve bands or whatever, the Tommy Copper ones?
Nah. Why? What's up?
The Copper fit. Well, I remember Tommy Copper, Tommy. Now apparently it's Tommie Copper.
Oh, dude, and that's like one of the most common Mandela switches is the Y to the IE swap. It happens everywhere, dude. Look at Johnny Walker whiskey. It's Johnny with an IE.
Get the fuck out! I used to be hooked on that shit. Really?
Yeah. Go look at a bottle of Johnny Walker whiskey. It's Johnny, Johnnnie.
No.
I swear to God, bro. You can pull it right off your shelf. You already know the deal.
Holy shit, that's messed up, bro. Because I got memories of me and my boys like chasing squirrels knocked off that shit, dude. That's messed up.
Yeah, what? Right after you drank the Mad Dog 2020 that never existed?
No, what the hell is that about?
You know what Mad Dog 2020 is, right?
No, man, I've been a smoker boy.
Never mind then. That's an alcohol. Must have been a little before your time, because now that's always stood for Mogan David and not Mad Dog, and it was definitely Mad Dog.
That's crazy. Yeah. But yeah, the Mandela effect is fucked up. Like Monopoly guy has a monocle now all of a sudden, and there's so much residue for that. It's unreal.
You mean he doesn't have it?
Yeah. What did I say? He does have it? No, yeah, he doesn't have it now. Like stuff that people don't know. I've been seeing a lot of people talking about Mr. Deeds. You ever see that movie with Adam Sandler?
Yeah, it's got the Monopoly guy with the monocle right there.
Yeah, he's banging the gavel. He's like, oh, you gotta tell the Monopoly guy down here to relax. And they do a close up on this dude. He's got the mustache, the monocle, the hat, the cane. What do you think? Adam Sandler and the whole Sony producing universe is just gonna, forget that? I don't think so.
Same thing with Jim Carrey in Ace Ventura 2. There's a whole scene where he beats up the Monopoly guy because he's got a monocle and the black top hat.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Do you remember, like a year ago, there were these alleged Google hearings in court, and there was a guy dressed as the Monopoly man with the monocle trolling the courtroom, sitting a few rows back. Remember that?
Yeah.
That made its rounds on Facebook.
Yeah, I remember that. Now that you say that, I didn't even think of that when I was.
Everybody just mixing up with the Plantis fucking peanut guy. Right? It's like Ashley said earlier. I interviewed her. She's from the UK. She went off about it. It's like, we don't even know who the fuck the Plantis guy is. We don't even know what this peanut thing is you're talking about. But I know the Monopoly man had a monocle. Dude, nobody's ever mixed up the fucking Monopoly. That's one of the more insulting ones that they say, isn't it? Like, you guys are mixing up the Monopoly man with the fucking Plantis peanut guy. What the fuck are you talking about, dude?
No shit. Like, we're gonna mix up an actual, like, not an actual guy, but a representation of an animation of a guy with an animation of a peanut.
Yeah.
Like, what do you think we are, retarded or something? That's just more shit to be like, oh, these Mandela effect guys, they don't know humans from peanuts, and it's just more shit to make us look stupid, I feel. And then, oh, dude, don't even get me started on Tom fucking Hanks, man, because that guy, I'll go to his house one of these days and tell him how it is, because that guy's an actual piece of shit, I feel. Because
he's a huge piece of shit.
Mr. Rogers, bro. How do you name a movie? How do you name the movie that, bro? Oh, this is a beautiful day in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
How?
Yeah. Like, it came out 2 days ago.
Did it really? I don't even keep up with that crap. That's dude. That's like, don't even. When I worked at a factory for about a year and a half, almost 2 years, and the guy that trained me, every time something would break, every time it's a shitty old factory. We used to make saws and whatever. Every time something would break, he would just start singing it. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, in a sarcastic tone or whatever. And I'm just like, are you serious? I'm like, so you're telling me old man Mike, who's been alive for 60 plus years, is getting his shit confused with something that was never said?
Yep.
Never said. And then they got the balls to make a movie called It's a Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood. And then this jerk off Tom Hanks goes on TV, whatever you call it, Hollywood. It's a beautiful day in this neighborhood, with his cheesy ass little smile that I want to smack off his face so bad, bro.
Dude, fuck Tom Hanks.
Oh my god, like
fucking Uncle fucking Black Tom Hanks.
Uncle Black Tom Hanks. I like that. That's not bad. And then the really part that gets me on Tom Hanks is that he's not him individually, but what is it? His sister's boyfriend or whatever works at CERN or some shit. You want to go in a little further on that? I'm not too well versed in that crap.
Sally Field's brother works at CERN, and Tom Hanks was selected to turn CERN back on, and he's done 2 movies involving it, Da Vinci Code and the other one there, Angels and Demons. But I don't know if he has a relative that works there. He might.
Oh yeah, but yeah, like you said.
And by the way, talking about Mr. Rogers, now they're claiming Tom Hanks and Mr. Rogers are cousins.
Oh my god, I saw that too, and I just anything. They're doing anything these days. They don't care. They don't, because the American public will believe it no matter what, because they saw it on CNN with a guy who had a suit on with some fruity glasses and his hair pent back. They make these people look so good and look so great, and they it's not that they are smart, it's to the American public they look smart. And if you look smart, you are smart nowadays. But if you look like me and you, who wear fucking hoodies, sweatpants, jeans, whatever, regular clothes, we're just dirtbags.
Yep.
It's ridiculous. Then you got Tom Hanks, and which one was it? Was it Da Vinci Code, where he comes out with the Holy Grail Mandela effect?
Yep, and just mocking it and has a smirk on his face.
Oh, that's the smirk that when I first saw that, that's what got me. I was like, are you serious, Tom? Are you serious? I'm like, you're not even acting. You're just literally laughing at America right now. You're laughing at the world. Yeah, that's the world. The Last Supper picture. How could that change? My grandma had one. That's there. There's a fucking the Holy Grail. I don't even know where to start on that, dude, because why would there be a conspiracy about the Holy Grail if the Holy Grail was never there?
Yeah.
The Knights Templar, killing everyone in the fucking world to get this thing, but it was never there. So it was never even holy if it wasn't there.
Yep. Steve, I'm gonna bounce out on my computer and sign back into my phone. So you'll see me leave the broadcast, but then you'll see me in the studio. So re-add me, okay?
What? Oh yeah. I got
I want
you.
to take my phone on the porch, but I don't want to make you guys go on break. So I'm just gonna sign in on my phone and go on the porch and take you out there. All right?
All right. So I just click your thing in the icon, lower left-hand corner when you bounce back.
I'll pop back up again in a second. I'll be right.
All right. Yeah, Tom Hanks, dude. Tom Hanks can literally blow himself. I got no use for that guy. And then you have him on a Mandela effect switch, a switchback. If you don't know what that is, Houston, we have a problem. Who else remembers that? Houston, we have a problem. Who hasn't said that? You know what I'm saying, Brian? Houston, we have a problem. Who hasn't said that?
Yeah.
Like that's
And the thing is, if they would have looked when we were telling them, they would have seen it flip flop because now it's back to Houston. They have a problem.
I know, but that's just in the movie. If you look at the original archives, it's we've had a problem. Who has time to be grammatically correct in a time of crisis, supposed time of crisis? Who's going to be grammatically correct? I'm be like, motherfucker, get me out of here. Like, I don't got, people don't understand that. And I don't think they ever will. The people that don't understand it now. It's just so ridiculous. But, yeah, Forrest Gump. Yeah, life was. That's so many people, they go on that one. And I'll tell them, what do you remember? Life is a box of chocolates. I'll show them life was, and they'll be like, oh, maybe I'm just this. No, you're not disremembering. Your memory's fine. Your conscience is right. If you have a feeling that it's one certain way, you should definitely just take it as it's one certain way. Don't be contradicting yourself spiritually, because you're contradicting yourself mentally, and that's just going to leave you more confused and more trapped than you would have been if you just didn't even look into this stuff. It's freaking ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous, if you ask me. And we were talking about before what the music changes. Red Hot Chili Peppers. You got City of Angels.
Yeah.
I personally think there's a deeper message in that, because like you said before, it's like a tug of war. This Mandela effect. It's there's some good ones from the good side, like I think like South America, and big ones like that can't be reproduced any which way, shape, or form. And then you got ones like Red Hot Chili Peppers saying "City of Angels." Now it's a City of Angel. Angels to angel. They're making multiple into one. What did they do? What did they do in New York, Brian? They brought down 2 towers, and what did they do now? They just brought up one. So they're going away from this whole. So they want everything to be one. They want it all within. They want one thing. They want one religion. They want one government. They want one memory. They don't want the Mandela memory. They want the memory that Ed McMahon worked at American Family Publishers. They want you to think that C3PO always has had a silver leg.
That one's so ridiculous, dude. I mean, that one's got so much fucking residue, dude. It's I have like hundreds of bitches.
Dude, and I've watched Star Wars ever since a kid. We used to, have the fake lightsabers and do, the fights, and not the fights, but what I'm talking about, the lightsaber duels. And I was always appointed as Darth Vader for some fucking reason. Maybe I'm just an asshole or whatever. And I would always have to be the one to say, Luke, dude, listen, I am your father.
I named my dog. My dog's name is Vader. I named him after Star Wars. I named him after Vader. That's and awesome. Look at me. I look like a fucking. I have been trying to tell people lately. I don't think they're buying it, but look at me. I'm like a fucking Jedi Knight, bro. I mean, come on.
I know. You better go beat some ass. Oh, shit. Oh, shit.
Fucking Karen cuts people with a switchblade. I cut him down with a lightsaber.
Oh, shit. You got to watch out for Karen. I feel like she put someone in a headlock before you can even get that shit out. She
Oh
seems like
yeah,
a
she's my security, bro. Somebody fucks with me, I'll just sit down.
dude. Sometimes them chicks, yo, they be a lot worse than you and me in person. What you smoking on it, Jay?
hmm
There you go.
I'm almost done, and then I'll go back in the house.
Oh no, you're good. I ain't rushing you. I'm just, always curious. I smoke a good amount of flower, but I've been resorting more to the wax lately. You ever take a dab before, Brian?
Yeah, I don't really like it.
No, you're not about that.
Nah.
Nah. Oh man, I think dabs are pretty cool, but I don't know. What do you think about the state legalizing marijuana and having their own facilities to sell marijuana? I don't like that.
It hasn't really affected anything over here. I mean, people are still selling their weed for the same price. They're still getting it the same, and the dispensaries are expensive. People go there, but they're expensive.
No,
Doesn't
no,
fuck
no.
up the market though.
That's not what I'm not talking about it that way. I'm talking not financially. I'm talking about the stuff they sell. Cause I'll go buy, I'll get an eighth of some flour off someone, and it's good stuff. You can test it. It's probably high 20s. And you go to the dispensary, you get the same amount. You take one hit, and I feel like I'm fucking 6 years old, bro. Their stuff makes me feel
Yeah,
hammered. I'm not about that.
yeah.
It like
hmm
impairs me. And then I talk to some people. I talked to literally some people who've worked there, and they say they confirm what I think. I say that they're extracting all the CBD out of there, taking all the stuff that could possibly help you. They're just jacking up the THC and then spraying it with some other stuff, possibly
Yeah,
peroxide.
maybe.
That's what I think. And then I've had people that work at dispensaries that have not confirmed it, but have confirmed it without saying it.
Yeah.
I don't like that stuff, man. I really don't, because I used to uh well, before the whole vaping thing happened in this whole state, I would get a vape cart from there. I'd take 6 hits and I'd be looking at my hands like I'm tripping balls, dude, like unable to drive. But I'll get a vape cart that my buddy makes, and I watch him make it. He doesn't put no vitamin E. There's none of this shit in there. And you just feel, you feel chill. You feel like you just smoked a blunt. You don't feel like you just took 6 shots of L and a bong rip or something. So
hmm
whatever they're doing, I think they're the ones that are causing all these supposed deaths off of whatever the fuck it may be. It's all just a horse and pony show, whatever way it may be. It's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
I'm going back in the house now.
All right, you gonna leave here? You gonna get back on the computer?
Yeah, I'm gonna do that right now.
All right, sounds good. Sounds good. And as we wait for Brian, we'll hop back in the chat. Got Danny Pepper. What's going on? Acoustic Lucidity. What's going on? True Seeker 69. What is going on? Got the Mandela Mile. What's up? What is going on, everyone? I don't even know how to say that. Sorry, bud. So I can't give you a shout out. Declan09, maybe. I'm not the best at pronouncing names and whatnot. Mr. Chronics, what's going on? Yeah, man, I gotta get out to Washington and get that cheap weed. I'm tired of paying like fucking 200 ounces or $200 for a zip. It's ridiculous. Bit of Venom, what's going on? Who else is in the chat? Carla's still in the chat. What's going on, Carla? And Brian Staveley is back. What's going on, brother?
Did I ever mention that we're the fucking best, baby?
We are the best. Hashtag it. Let's get that shit going. I think that's the best shit ever. I love how people hate it too, because that's how you know we're the best, if they're hating on us already. I fucking love that shit. But you want to look at the chat real quick? I just gotta take a quick pee break.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, I'll be back in 10 seconds.
All right, yeah. So what's up? Any questions in the chat? I'm not gonna go read everybody's fucking name in the chat. You guys are out of your minds if you think I'm doing that. But thank you guys for all coming over. I know a lot of you guys came because I put the link out. So everybody, please make sure that you sub and bell. You sub and bell Steve. Well, let me shut my camera off. Um, Yeah, make sure you sub the bell. He's been doing a lot of streams lately. He doesn't typically go 3 hours like this, but he'll do a 20-minute video or an hour video. And yeah, people just aren't really used to him going live yet. Just like kind of people weren't used to Head Truth Seeker, they weren't used to her going live yet. So we did a few live streams over there, got everybody used to it. Now she goes live and tons of people over there. So that's what we do. We try and help each other out, build each other up. And I know you've heard Steve tonight. He's good, man. I knew he was good, so I figured you guys needed to get introduced to him. So that's cool. I appreciate everybody that came over. And we are the best. You know what I mean? We are the fucking best. All the people that talk shit, they can go fuck themselves. Speaking of which, they went live again, right? You know what I mean? They're just bashing me all the time. So, hey, whatever. We're the best. We make the best content. All people do is chop up our content because they have nothing to put out there. It's pathetic. But I think I am running out of stuff to say. I think I'm going to wind it down soon. I should have told Steve before he stepped away, but I am getting a little tired, and I've been on since 1. Steve.
What's up?
I do want to wind it down soon because I have been on since 1. I am getting kind of tired.
Oh no, you're good, bro. That's all good. You want to just you want to talk about dreams real quick before we get out of here? You were talking about that beforehand.
Yeah, what do you want to get into about them?
Shit, just like how it's all just a conscious thing. How we're always, even in our sleep, we're still trying to tap into the other side to get more answers. And I'm not too well versed on the lucid dream stuff, and you seem like you might know a little bit about
Yeah,
that.
I don't know much. Like, I don't know how to manipulate them. I don't know how to provoke myself into them. I just happen to have two really strong ones, and it was so strong that I went and documented it. I went and got a notebook and wrote it all down so I wouldn't forget, type of thing. But yeah, I'm waiting to have more of those, and I think that the lucid dreams is tied into the Mandela effect via our consciousness. Obviously, I think it's all connected as well in that way. Yeah, I don't really know enough yet. I want to know more about it, and it's very interesting to me, and something's telling me it's also very, very, very important. But I actually, what I'm hoping for is just to have more lucid dreams, to write down these experiences more and talk about them, and then maybe hopefully put the puzzle together. So far, it's only been 2 of them,
No, without a doubt, I understand that. But I don't know, dreams are just very, very interesting because I remember dreams that happened to me 10, 15, almost 20 years ago. Just like specific dreams. Like, not even dreams that matter, like dreams of me flying in a fucking airship or whatever. And it's just so interesting to me that you're still awake while you're sleeping. Like it's
Yeah.
just your body that needs rest. And that's just more proof of to me at least, that evolution and all these other things are just a lie and a hoax, because it's we are created so uniquely and so just perfectly that our minds, our conscience, our soul never needs rest. And that just, that for me validifies more the fact that we are eternal. We, like, not physically, obviously, that's just blasphemous, but mentally, spiritually, and our souls, they live on forever no matter what. And if we're sleeping, physically, but our bodies in our soul is still going, that's just more validity for me that that it's a lot more than what they're telling us. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, without a doubt. But yeah, you wanna wrap this up real quick, and
Yeah, I'm ready to crash. So just anybody here that doesn't know my channel, if you're listening to this after on Steve's channel, just give me a sub. It's Brian Staveley, Staveley. It'll come right up. And I talk about all the stuff we've been talking about today and much more. And we usually have a lot of people in the live chat, a lot of good people, good vibes, and that's the way we try and keep it. So I guess that's all I got, bro. That's all I got. I'm pooped. I got nothing else to say. I've been going for almost 9 hours now. So
yeah, I know. I was listening to you at work a little bit today, but yeah, we did have 100 in the chat at one point, so that was pretty sick. Thank you for bringing everyone, and thanks for everyone for being here. And I plugged all 3 of your channels in the description before we went on. I updated it.
cool.
So yeah, and let's put this up real quick. Hit that like button, everyone. Like, share, subscribe. Not just me and Brian, but everyone in the chat. Let's all subscribe to everyone. Everyone subscribe to each other. It'll if we're all together through this, then we can't be beat. You know what I'm saying? Because
Exactly.
we are the fucking best, and
We
that's
are
how I'm gonna leave it.
Exactly.
All right, Brian.
All right.
I'm gonna sign out. You have a good night, bro. Take care.
All
And
right, brother.
everyone, thank you and God bless. Have a good night.
All right, guys. Good night.